Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Shooting the Shelf right here on the Just Shelve channel. It is episode 30, season 3. 30 straight weeks on top of 52 straight weeks on top of whatever the first half season was. So that's 82 episodes of Curtis and I every Sunday night.
And you haven't killed me yet.
Well, I mean, you're too far away.
Oh, that's true. Maybe at Legion's Con.
No. You haven't killed me yet.
No, I'm good.
No, I'm good. Well, everybody, we've got an awesome show tonight. It's not the Road to Legion's Con, but it's kind of a attractions on the highway sign for next weekend at IshCon. Except Curtis won't be there, which sucks.
I won't be.
But we've got some really fun guests coming on. But before we bring them on, Curtis, anything exciting going on in your world today?
Yeah, I wanted to do a little housekeeping here at the start of the show. I understand it's that time in our country where you got some dividing thoughts and opinions and stuff, and people that think one way and people think another. And I just need to address something with you, Jesse, because I know this is something we don't really agree on, but I see you wearing the George Hates Fun shirt, and I disagree. I think George loves fun. I've seen him enjoy fun. Now it doesn't mean that you have to think the same way as me. But I'm just saying, the propaganda that you're putting on there, I don't know that I really appreciate it too much. So,
but I know George likes fun, and I always comment when they say George doesn't like fun, that George does like fun, because I've seen him have fun and enjoy himself.
So you're wearing the shirt as a mockery of that? Is that
I believe the kids call it ironically.
Gotcha.
Or maybe for me, it's more moronically, but yeah.
It's
also really comfortable, and I was painting, so if I get stuff on it, I'm not too worried about it. Oh, see, that's really cool.
I've got Copper Kid. Until
can't
Super
snap that one in half.
No, not till Super 7 gives me one, but who knows? It'll be another 3-4 years. Gotta give me everything else but Copper Kid. Anyway, yes. We've got some folks in the chat. You want to shout them out, or you want me to shout them out?
Yeah, I'll shout them out. Ooh, this is fun. We got Dave Orkin chiming that bell at the top of the wait list. Chris Johnson, Jeremy Govier. Did I
got it?
Dirt Designs, Anthony House Seal, Stacy Lynn, Dylan Legends Collector 1321, Thomas Bellet, Joe from Drow Taylor Designs, Tanya McCoy. Is that both the McCoys? Nope, not yet.
It's only one McCoy so far.
There's Darla Ackerman, so we got both Ackermans here. Terrence St. John, Carver Customs, so that's Brian Lynn. So we got both the Lyns.
3 Lyns.
Kirby, Kevin McCoy. Now we got both the McCoys. King Castle Sieger. Nate. Yeah, Nate. Yeah, right? Yeah. Yep. Bill from Dorklair, Kent from Kentpool Collects. Let's see who else. Who am I missing here? Michael Morales and Adam Power. Welcome all to the chat. Thank you for being here. Thank you to all our members for being here. Someday I will update the closing graphics to include other people. Once I figure out an easier way to do that, that doesn't need to require a full render of a video.
And Rice Baby.
What's up,
Brett? Lot of green names in the chat. A lot of members. Appreciate that.
Cheers.
Appreciate you guys being members. That gets you benefits like something that I'm not sure of, but Jesse, I'm sure will tell you.
So you get special icons that you can use in the chat that only members get. You get early access to our Wednesday one-shots, which I think we're recording one after this tonight. You get that on Monday, or technically Sunday night, before the rest of the channel gets it on Wednesday. And the last couple of weeks, I've been doing these Monday musings as I'm going on my way to work. Just little things. I mean, I would not spend money on joining the membership just for that, but it's a little extra thing doing, and we'll see whatever else comes up.
Cool. I did want to shout out Terrence is in the chat. He's doing the 1,000 swigs at Legions Con. Folks, bring your swigs. Really trying to get 1,000 there. If you could do it custom, that's cool. Pop and swap, do some painting, whatever you want to do. If you just want to bring your stock, swig right out of package, that's fine too. But let's have some swig fun. So bring those to Legions Con.
Got you a swig right here.
Oh, nice. I was actually working on mine today. I spent quite a bit of time fabricating for him. So
fabricate. Ooh, look at you with a $5 word.
I know, right? All right. Well, I think we got some guests tonight, right? Because it says bring a friend or two in the song.
Or two. Yes, it does.
Gotcha.
I think that's more like people coming to watch.
Oh, gotcha.
But I mean, hey, we're watching, so we'll bring a friend or two. So without any further ado, we've got two legends coming onto the screen, folks. Please give a round digital welcome to I messed it up, didn't I? A warm digital welcome.
But
a round of digital applause to the one and only Thomas Bellet, first-time guest on the shelf. Welcome, Thomas. How are you tonight?
Hey, guys. Excellent. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Thanks for being here. And we got another fella from Arizona who's been on a couple of times. I don't know. Other than Dooch or Sean, this might be our most returned guest on Shooting the Shelf.
Jeremy's been on a couple times too, and so is Rodriguez. But yeah, I think David's been on. Well, especially if you consider OffWorld, because he's been on some of those post shows.
Well, just on Shooting the Shelf, this is at least the third time that David Williams.
Well, and actually, David Williams is the one that got us together doing this show.
That's true.
Yeah,
that is true. It's all your fault.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It has made my life infinitely more
stressful,
more interesting.
Just more of everything.
More everything. Okay.
Mostly more better.
Well, at the start of the show, folks, we do a thing called Shelf Selections, where we pick some photos throughout the week that inspired us. Usually it's just 4 from me, 4 from Jesse. Thomas threw in some as well. So we've got a plethora of pictures to go through and look at. And as we're going through them, if you see an Instagram account that you're not following, that you really enjoy the picture, give them a follow and a like, and go from there, because that'll just make your Instagram feed that much cooler. So
indeed.
Starting off, I think this is one of Thomas's.
Yep. So this is one of mine. This is by What's Up Danger, also known as Marty on Instagram. So this guy's just pumping out pictures nonstop. It's, I think, daily. The consistency of work that he does and the quality of work is just amazing. This one really stood out to me because, it's Batman. You can tell, even without the gadgets and everything, just the caption is, something about being bruised and broken. And it's just, it really caught my eye, just the amount of, work that he puts into that. And then he always does behind the scenes for every single one of his shots. So following the picture, he'll kind of give a bird's eye view of how he shot it, where his lighting was, to really give you an idea of how he's creating this. Just a really gorgeous shot, and Batman's the best, so I'm a little biased there too.
That's a fact, though. It's not even an opinion. So,
the photo may not have intentionally been pandering to Curtis, but it feels like the pic of it was. So, no, this is a really awesome shot. Oddly, the first thing that caught my attention was the name, the handle of the account, the What's Up Danger, with the What's Up .danger, because it's just immediately that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack just started playing in my head. There's a song on there called What's Up Danger. So anyway,
he uses that audio clip for his
nice.
behind the scenes every time.
Oh, very cool. So this was an account I was not aware of. So if I didn't add it because when I was trying to like save your pictures, it kept trying to pop up on my iPad. It kept trying to give me that little note thing on Instagram where it was like, you can tag a note, and it's just got my little icon face down there with a thought bubble coming. I'm like, I don't want to do that. How do I make that go away? So I was just annoyed with my technology trying to screenshot this picture.
Yeah, this is an awesome photo. It kind of reminds me of, there was one last year, and I think I might have named it as photo of the year last year. Bonnie Rotten had that the one where it was the knight that was getting ready for battle or whatever, kind of getting dressed.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this kind of feels kind of similar, like it's, but this is kind of after like the post fight, post out and about, and yeah, I mean, definitely taking some bumps and bruises, and underneath all the gadgets and everything, Bruce is still human. So yeah, this is cool. I like it.
Yeah, and going the extra mile, just adding all those bandages and everything. We've got a huge customizing community with the Legions group, but for somebody to take, a different type of figure, a Mafex or a Mesco, and to add some extra stuff on there is really cool to see. It's not as common, so I like that piece too.
Any thoughts on this one, David?
Yeah, it was Terrence's comment is exactly what I thought. Like, it reminded me of that Alex Ross painting immediately. It's just one of those things that's like, this is now an iconic Batman concept.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
Next one is mine. And this is from @figured_wood. Just kind of a nice little battle strategy session here. I don't know where these like tiny vehicles and stuff came from. But this is a cool little shot, like the way that it's put together here. I don't know. I just really enjoyed this. It seemed like something out of a movie. So yeah, I enjoyed this.
Yeah, Figured Wood does a lot of really awesome shots, and for some reason, every time, at least on one of Curtis's pictures, I just get a little giggle because an intrusive thought comes in, and I just see the guy from Spaceballs coming in like, "Sorry, sir, I did not see you playing with your toys." But this is a great shot. Like, the lighting's cool. Yeah, whatever those vehicles are, for like the map, was really cool. Yeah, this is a lot of fun, and I like that it's like different characters or at least different versions of the figures than you would normally see in a Joe shot like this. So I thought that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Thomas?
Yeah, I love the mixed scale. Like, I don't know if those are micro machines, if you guys remember micro machines, or what exactly those are, but just playing with your toys, right? I love that. It's, making it tangible. I think they're probably planning for battle, not just playing with their toys. But you could also imagine that they just went to JoeCon and JoeFest, and they're in the lobby like we were at Legions Con, and they're all just breaking open their new toys and having a good time. There was a behind the scenes for this one too, and it was really cool the way he had it lit from up above with that blue light, and then the different lights coming in on the sides. So just really cool shot.
Awesome. David?
I think it's cool, man. I love the classified stuff, and especially that shipwreck figure. I think he's my favorite in the line, so it's cool to see him get some love.
Yeah, totally. Awesome. Next one is Jesse's.
So I can't remember who it was, but someone sent this to me as a selection, and I was like, man, I'm sure Curtis is going to pick this one. So if it's one that they sent to you, thank you for letting me claim it. Okay. It's, Deadpool and Wolverine. We're not going to talk about spoilers or anything about that, because I'm going to assume not everybody has seen it, so we're not going to get there. But just seeing Deadpool, stealing Professor X's chair and him just like dangling off the back, and it's just really well shot. And, with all the figures they've got there, it just was a lot of fun. And it made me laugh quite a bit when I saw this. So it was either I want to say it was either Dub3 or Dylan. I can't remember who sent this.
I think it was Dub3. I got it as
Okay.
well, and it was one of my
Okay.
picks until I saw you had it. So, Purple Gang, you guys are gonna have to start showing up on time, man. This is 2 weeks in a row. You want the intro again? I'll try at the end. I'll try to play the intro again, but last time it got cut off.
No.
There were some sort of technical difficulties. I don't know what happened.
We play the intro at the beginning and the outro at the end.
Guess you guys are gonna have to watch the replay. Yeah, this is just a fun shot. Like, you know, I mean, it just feels like something that Deadpool would do, you know, steal Xavier's chair and you got everybody chasing after him. It just, I just kind of, you know, you talk about intrusive thoughts. I just imagine like Xavier's legs just flopping on this thing. So, and, you know, once again, no spoilers for the movie, but if you haven't seen it yet, like, get your tickets. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, definitely movie event of the year. So go see that thing. So, Thomas, any thoughts on this one?
I also had the thought of the flailing legs in the back, kind of just going. I actually bought my tickets right before coming on here, so my wife and I are going to go see it tomorrow. I have luckily avoided all spoilers. But yeah, great shot. It's, you know, classic Deadpool as we've come to know him in the MCU, and really solid posing, getting the entire crew. It's not easy to get that many figures into a single shot. So playing with the depth there and getting that many people into a single shot is really cool and well done.
Yep. David?
I'm on a Deadpool kick right now. I went and saw it on Thursday, and I'm all about it. It's fantastic.
I was ready to go right back in to watch it again.
Me too. Absolutely.
I mean, you know, I've heard people talking about spoilers and stuff, like not wanting spoilers. Honestly, I've seen the movie and it's still so much fun. I would go see it another 5 times. So
absolutely. I keep telling people, man, if you hear a spoiler, don't worry about it, because there's 100 things that could be spoiled. Like there's so many things. It's so much to take in. So
yeah,
I'm happy to see stuff like this.
I will say real quick on that Joe figure shot, I pulled up Figurewood's page and it said all the cool 3D printed mini things in this shot, all courtesy of the fantastic Midnight Stars .custom. So that's Midnight Start with an E, Midnight Stars .custom. So it's linked on Figurewood's post. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fun. Next one is one of Thomas's.
Yep. So this is Vonnie Rotten on Instagram. Mitch does some amazing work. The creativity in his shots. He shoots a lot of mezco, but he likes to throw them in completely different scenes than you would expect. This is Vapor from Mezco. He's got like a New York street kind of vibe, backpacker type thing. To throw him in this like safari gear and put him in the middle of the forest is just great. And then getting that edit right there with the eye just through the magnifying glass is just great. Every time he posts something, it's just always top quality. And hopefully if you guys aren't following him, give him the follow. He does a lot of great work.
Yeah, I actually had this as one of my shelf selections and kind of threw a wrench into my plans the last minute, but you know, great minds think alike, I guess. Yeah, this is amazing. That you're right. The eye and the magnifying glass really sells it, but just the overall whole vibe of this thing. You know, he's got the little book in his hand there. He's just so excited to be out in the wilderness, and it's I don't know. It just makes you smile looking at this picture. So
totally.
Yeah, this is a really cool shot. Yeah, the eye over like magnified in the glass is great. It's just a really fun, like you said, just something like I'm not super familiar with that character. But yeah, I think we had on last week one or the week before where he was like on like a street scene looking up at a T-Rex and like his like hoodie and jeans and stuff. So it's just fun, you know. Like I'm just imagining now as like some cartoon character that just happens to have the right wardrobe for whatever adventure he's on, even if it doesn't fit the personality at all.
Yeah, totally.
Can see that. David?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like I love these mezco shots when they're not wearing the clothes they came with. Like at some point he had to put on a little Savari outfit, and I think I'm like, where did that even come from? But it's awesome.
Yeah, super cool. All right, well, it looks like we got a super chat. Jesse, you want to hit us with that super chat?
Rob Zamora with the $1.99 super chat. Heyo, sup, Thomas?
What's up, Rob? Hope you're doing well, my friend.
Rob. Yeah, Rob gives us all the insider information every time I'm struggling with something, you know, like when's something going to be released or what's going on. Rob gives us that insider info. Rob, since you're watching, I am waiting for that Willy Wonka sale tomorrow on Super 7, but I cannot find the time anywhere. So if you know what time that goes on sale, please let me know, because I don't want to have to be checking it every minute of the day tomorrow. So
Rob got the hookup. His cousin went to San Diego Comic-Con. I believe it was his cousin, and got him the exclusive Odious Wade from Unparalleled Universe. So he's got all the info, and then he's got people picking up toys for him at Comic-Con exclusives. He's a well-connected man. So
nice.
Well, hey, real quick before we carry on, I totally did not know this was a thing until the studio today. Happy birthday to Jordan, Wholesome Warlock, Brett Stoddart, and Cookie.
All
Happy
three?
birthday, everybody.
Wow.
I guess.
That's a trifecta right there, for sure.
Yeah.
That's from both of us.
And I'll be seeing, I don't know if Cookie's going to IshCon or not, but chances of seeing them all next weekend are pretty high.
Yeah, I hear all the cool people are going. So
Not all the cool people, but all the people that are going are also cool.
This is one of mine. Because it's fun. That's B and then cuz it's fun on Instagram. You know, these are not two characters that I would ever imagine like squaring off, but it's freaking cool. I like it. And just the way that it's, you know, up on the ledge there, and you know, the little moonlight behind it and stuff. Like, it is, I would love to see this fight. I think this would be a really cool freaking fight. So,
well, happy birthday, Rob Zamora, too, because apparently it's his birthday as well.
Wow, very nice. Man, all kinds of birthdays.
Up to? Oh, that's like Thanksgiving, Christmas time. Yeah, okay.
So, Jesse, any thoughts on this one?
Anything to get me stopped thinking about what was just in my head. This is a lot of fun. Like you said, not characters you normally expect to see team up, but seeing them, it makes total sense. Is it supposed to look like it's like the beginning of Snowfall or Stars and Snowfall? I don't know. It's awesome.
It looks like there's some down here, but I'm moving my mouse, which you can't see, but like in front of the ledge and stuff. So yeah, I do think there's some Snowfall, but yeah, I think this would just be an epic sword battle. Like, I think this would be a badass fight. So
I do feel like it'd be one where they're both like honorable, and like they're coming across it, like Storm Shadow's not like out to kill in this one. You know, it's Leo's just in his way. Yeah, it'd be a very like honorable badass sword fight.
Mm-hmm. Thomas?
Or maybe they're both, you know, going after the same bad guy, and they didn't know they're not together. They were both on a separate mission to get the same person, and then they cross paths right before they're going to infiltrate, and then they team up. So, yeah,
that'd be cool. Yeah,
really cool shot. Because it's fun. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I thought I was saying that in my head.
That I was trying to lean in to see. Yeah, on Storm Shadow, it looks like those are soft goods.
It's the I think it's the Mezco one.
Yeah, it's the Mezco Storm Shadow. It comes with those soft goods.
Mezco.
It's a Mezco Turtle and Mezco Storm Shadow. So
yeah, I'm still kicking myself for not ordering those Mezco Turtles, man. They are a grail at this point for me.
Dude, I am so mad at myself. Like, and I even, like, when people were bitching about the price when they first dropped it, I was looking at it going, man, that's really not that bad. Like if you break it down, it's right around $100 a figure, which is around what a Mezco costs. Like this is not a bad price. And I should have pulled the trigger. And I was like, I'm not the hugest turtle fan, but I thought it was cool looking. Now I've got Donatello, but I don't have the other three, and they're so expensive that I don't know that I'll ever be able to get them. But anyway,
Yeah,
yeah,
you could have picked, the best turtle, but
I did. I picked Donatello. Yeah, for sure. So.
Because it's fun is another great account to follow. He does a lot of behind the scenes stuff as well, and make sure you're following all these people on Instagram. It's always great to open up, and when you're doom scrolling like we all do at this point in our lives, it's good to have positive stuff coming out of the phone. So
for sure. And I am going to do a special double post tomorrow because there's been so many picks. Curtis, this is not going to be an every week thing.
Sorry, Jesse.
No, it's okay.
You know what?
Whenever guests donate pictures to the shelf selections, I will begin doing that regularly, but not when it's just ours.
Here's what I think I'll do. If you're doing your Monday musings, maybe I will do like leftover spotlight. It'll be any of my pictures that didn't make it through because Jesse only lets me pick 4, and I'll do a separate video for members.
There you go.
So there you go. Yeah.
There you go.
David, any thoughts on this one?
I'm the opposite way. I always thought when I played with Storm Shadow, he was like the meanest guy. Like he was the worst. So I see this being a pretty epic battle of like a noble swordsman versus like just this nasty ninja. But I think it's awesome. I love those turtles too.
Now, David, Rice Baby says I've mispronounced Raphael. I was clearly saying the best turtle is Donatello. You got any thoughts on this, David?
I believe you are correct that the best turtle is Donatello.
Yeah.
Mikey.
I thought I was right. All right.
I will say this: Jenica is the best turtle, but Raphael is my favorite.
Okay. All right. This one is Jesse's.
So speaking of turtles,
yeah.
So again, I think this one might have been suggested to me by Dub Trace. This is a Nerdy Toys. Again, it's just a really fun shot.
I think it's Rendy Toys.
Rendy. Okay, my eyes are going blurry. Yeah, Mario and whatever that little yellow like macaroni shell thing is. With the turtles, and I think those are the Revoltech turtles. I don't know the characters from Mario. I'm sorry, I just don't. Except for Mario and Luigi and Tongue Guy. But it's just a fun shot. It's a really cool shot. Again, like a mix-up of characters that don't necessarily belong together, but it's fun. Yeah.
Tongue Guy.
Dylan with a member chat. Guys, come on. Obviously, the best turtle is Franklin. Yeah, not so sure about that. So, yeah, I mean, Mario is kind of known for taking out some turtles in his world, and looks like this one got some backup, and he seems like he's going to be in for a fight. So, yeah, I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I think Mario might be in trouble here.
All right. Yeah, I totally missed the point of this picture.
Thomas, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, I didn't make that connection at first either. So it's a great shot. I love, the play between the different characters that aren't supposed to go together. It's tastefully done. I know some people don't like when you're mixing lines. I personally think it's super fun, and that's the name of the game, right? It's having fun and playing with your creativity. So it's a good shot too. And I like that Mario's not necessarily the center point of focus in there, but you know that he's the one that's right there. Even though he's kind of blurred out and everything, it's still obvious that that's Mario right there,
I feel like the Mario Turtle thing is kind of snitching, and those kind of people get stitches. So just saying. Hey, David, any thoughts on this one?
The 2012 turtles are some of my all-time favorite. So it's cool to see these get used. I actually have a set of these figures that I will be selling off now that NECA announced that they're going to be doing the 2012 turtles.
Nice.
And is that
So-
the Revoltech? Is that what they are?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, they're
something like that. Okay.
they're cool toys. They're really fussy, like super fussy and kind of hard to really nail down a pose.
Cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Nathan's excited about the NECA 2012 turtles as well as everybody else under 30 years old. So
I'm pretty sure Sean is pretty stoked for him.
So there you go.
I think he said it's his favorite iteration of the turtles.
All right.
It's exceptional. Like it's like a love letter to our childhood.
I've never seen it, but I may have to put that on the playlist. So
do it.
Curtis just wants to feel like he's under 30.
Yeah.
This is one of Thomas's.
Yep. So this one's by G Balda, Gabriel on Instagram. I just really like the play here. Kind of a Back to the Future. We just got this brand new King Conan in, and then you've got the original Barbarian, Conan the Barbarian from Mezco there, and incorporating two Conans into a single shot and making it make sense, right? Like they just time traveled and bumped into each other or something, which I don't think you're supposed to see yourself when you're time traveling because that can kind of screw up the timelines. But a really great shot. Gabe does all of his props. He like hand makes everything, and he's putting out a new shot every week, which is amazing. So if you're not following him, definitely give him a follow. But he went and cut out those arrows for the dials on the clock, and just built the whole scene, crafted it. He's just a great craftsman, not only just taking the picture, but building everything out around the scene. So
I'm sorry, I was not following him, so I went to go give it a follow, and like the first picture that he's got pinned on his Instagram is Red Death drinking a Coke, and it just made me chuckle. But this is fun. I mean, you got Slog in the background. Like, what the hell is that guy doing there? You got a skeleton in the front, a dinosaur. Yeah, I mean, he just threw everything in here.
You got that.
What's that?
Cringer paint. You got that Cringer painted Smilodon on the front right.
Yeah, this is just a lot of fun. One of those things where it's like, where do you even come up with the idea to do something like this? A big giant clock in the background. But it's really cool. Little tiny bird next to the sledgehammer. I don't know, man. I don't know where you think this kind of stuff up, but yeah, this is cool.
It makes me think of. It reminds me of there was a comic out a few years ago called Chrononauts. Like these two, it's kind of like two of the Top Gun pilots, so like Goose or Maverick and Iceman. Just find this, or testing out this time machine, and they go back in time and they start like making it's completely like bonkers story, but it reminds me of one of the covers from that series.
Nice. David?
It's fun, man. I like this. I love those Mezco Conans too. They're pretty fun figures. But yeah, this is a cool shot. Just a ton of stuff to take in.
Awesome. Once again, if you're not following this Instagram account, go ahead and give it a follow like I just did. Next one is one of mine. This is Action Figure Snaps with a Z at the end on Instagram. Once again, a couple lines I wouldn't expect to be mixed together, but I like it. It works. I don't know. I just thought this was fun. So I really don't have much more other than that. It just looked like a really fun picture.
I don't believe a Power Ranger's getting a shot off on a Stormtrooper. No, I don't have an opinion on that. This is a really fun shot. I love the different like lens lighting effects going on there. you know, it actually makes it look like the Power Rangers couldn't be like threatening, you know, like it sells the image. I think they did a really good job with this. You got, you know, the whatever sort of nature's going on in the background, and like the pebbly sand rocks in the foreground and everything. It's a really cool shot.
Yeah. I do like the little chokehold he's got there. I thought that was kind of cool. I might have to do that with some of my figure displays. So, Thomas, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, I was not following this account, so I just went ahead and added him on Instagram, and it's a really cool shot. I like the pose there. Those Black Series are not the most posable figures, but to be able to get that that action in his shot is really cool. And an outdoor shot too that's not out of scale. I know Trevor always harps on people when there's like a big ass leaf in your shot and it's like the size of the figure. There's nothing like that here. This makes sense. Everything is well in focus where you want the action to go. So really cool shot.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not the hugest Power Ranger fan. I don't know what that line is that figure's from, but it looks really good. So,
My guess is it's the Lightning collection from Hasbro.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. I'm guessing if those are Black Series Stormtroopers.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like that's the hashtag on there is Lightning Collection Power Rangers. So
Gotcha.
You're right, Jesse.
David, thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is super cool. I just like the poses and stuff. I've never been a Power Rangers guy, but that makes him look pretty cool.
Cool. Next one, Jesse's.
Ooh, yes. I thought I forgot to send you this one. This is from our good friend Kevin
Boots.
Kevin Boots, 77. Kevin M Boots 77 on Instagram. Really awesome shot mixing some mythic figure obscura Cosmic Legion stuff together to make this really cool character. He's done quite a few other shots with this custom this past week, and I just really liked, you know, we were just talking about like the nature shots and just kind of this kind of like peaceful, calm, kind of serene moment. You know, we get a lot of really cool like action and fight poses, and you know, Power Rangers snuffing out stormtroopers like it's, you know, nobody's business. But I just thought this was a really nice kind of like relaxing, calm, just being in nature shot, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin always does great outdoor shots. You know, we know he likes to take some figures out and kind of walk around and get those shots in really cool areas. And this is, you know, no exception. I mean, it looks great. I love the lighting, just the way he's got this set up. And yeah, great job, my Boots. Thomas?
Yeah, my Boots, another great guy with the outdoor photography, a lot of outdoor photography. And it's, I listened to his interview, I think, on the Euro Legions. He was talking with John at one point about how he doesn't really display a lot of his figures. He keeps them in little little boxes ready to go. So he just goes through, and anytime he's going out for a walk or something out in nature, he grabs, you know, a box or two that's packed and ready to go to take some photography. So I think that's a really cool way to blend two different activities. It's way too hot to even step outside here in Arizona, but I can appreciate where people have fairer weather and they can do that.
Yeah, for sure. David?
I love all of Kevin's stuff. I really like Kevin as a human being. So in my mind, he could do no wrong. So this is an awesome shot, and it's an excellent custom on top of that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And this is one of Thomas's.
I mean, no comment. It's self-explanatory, I think. One of the masters at customs in the Legions community. I believe he's doing all of these. So this is Emil Wickman. I think everybody's probably followed him. If you're not, what are you doing? So I believe Emil's doing all these for Slap Happy Toys. and he's been releasing quite a few different Batman villains. He did a Harley Quinn recently, and this Bane is just amazing, and it's fully made out of Legion's parts, which is even more astonishing. Yeah, just an amazing craftsman, and the way that his mind works to looking at all these different parts that we have in the parts library for Legions, and to be able to, pick out little pieces like some of those cosmic tubes and repurposing them for, Bane's Venom distribution. And then the subtle paint that's on the face there on the mask is just all around a bang up job. I'm kind of jealous of Slap Happy Toys getting these, because it was going to be added to my list for Legions Con.
Yeah, this is another account I wasn't following. It seems like this guy does some pretty decent work. Looks like he's kind of just gotten into the customizing game, a little bit of the bug. So yeah, I mean, he's off to a great start. So I mean, keep it up, guy. You will definitely, you're going places. So
keep it up, guy.
For sure. So Jesse,
I can't talk after that.
All right, David.
No, it's. Go ahead, David. I'll wrap it up.
Oh, I was just gonna say I love all of his customs, but my favorite thing is to figure out what all of those pieces came from, like the spiked gauntlet thing, and just looking at. I have the show on my TV right now, and I just realized that it's the Jacob Marley harness. That has all that stuff on it. But that's my favorite part about his customs, is how he repurposes and cuts and, just puts stuff all over these figures.
It's like a puzzle.
I'm trying to figure out what those arms are with the band around right after the shoulder muscle.
The band is just, I think, belts that he repurposed. So.
Okay.
And then paint, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
And then the little tank things in the front are from the back of Kanox Vol. And
the use of the neck piece is really cool. The Kanox Vol neck piece.
Yeah.
That looks super good.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, it looks like Kanox was the base for a lot of. I'm only that aware of it because that's what I used for something I was working on today. So, of course, Emil's is freaking stellar. When I first saw this picture the other day, I was like, what's going on with that face? And I had to zoom in on my phone. I'm like, oh, it's freaking Bane. Of course it is.
Oh, Emil, I think this guy was in the studio today. Yeah, he was getting some tips from people and stuff, so that's probably why this came out so good. Yeah, Customized Studio, great place for newcomers, just like Emil. So yeah, if you guys are interested, Sundays 1 p.m. You can put out stuff like this. So all right, next one. Sorry. I think this is the last one. This is one of mine. Plastic Active on Instagram. I actually saw this on Facebook first. And I guess it sounds like his, maybe some of his Instagram photos haven't, really taken off, and all of a sudden this one just blew up overnight. I saw this posted in a Facebook group, found his Instagram, and I just think this is absolutely amazing. We've already shown several with kind of mixing of lines and stuff, but this is just so much fun. I just keep looking at this and just smiling. So
I'm glad we pointed out the one that was on my picks earlier being because Mario stomps on turtles, because now this picture makes sense to me straight out of the gate, other than, it's a fun mashup. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm rooting for the turtles all day in this. And, curb stomping Mikey into the water. Leo better hit him with that sword first. Sorry, Nintendo fans, but Mario's got to go down for that. It's a great shot. Love the effects. Love the lighting. The water splashes. Killed the shot. Beautiful.
Well, I love that Luigi has distracted Raph to take him out of the picture. Take the biggest threat out, and let these other ones fight it out. So he's a good sidekick. Thomas?
Yeah, I love the Luigi part in the back. Like, if you really take in the picture, at first glance, I didn't see that. And then looking a little bit closer, I'm like, oh, back there, Luigi's facing off with Raph. So it's pretty great. The water and the splashes are really nice. I like the posing on the turtles. A little offended that the best turtle is, facing the water right now, but we know he's the last one standing, so I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to mess with a plumber in the sewers. I mean, that's just so. I know the turtles are used to the sewers, but this guy knows what he's doing. So
that's another connection I didn't make.
Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but my dad did a lot of plumbing work, and we never dealt with being in the sewers themselves. So, like,
hey, if you're not in the sewers, are you really a plumber? That's all I gotta say.
I feel like that's like saying you're not really a car mechanic if you're not fixing a.
I mean, did your dad jump down pipes? Because that's kind of an important part of being a plumber too, is jumping down pipes.
It was my stepdad. I might have wished he'd jumped down pipes, but no.
All right, David, you got anything on this one?
No, just what you guys said. It's just a really fun picture.
Yeah,
I love that. I love it, and I never associated. I never realized that the two of them could possibly meet in the sewers.
I feel like this should have been like one of those like really like awkward moments on like Family Guy where like Mario's there and then like, oh, we got some friends coming over. They turn and it's the turtles and it's just like just weird staring or something.
Hey, what are you guys doing here? Yeah.
Well, that is it for shelf selections, but it's not it for pictures because we do have two more pictures that came up this week. First is this one. What do we got going on here, Jesse?
Me?
Yeah. What is this?
I believe this was announced this week as part of the Legions Con day one exclusives. The Gaspar the Unamused. So that's just 2 times they're doubling down on this. So I don't know if I'm really promoting propaganda.
Maybe a double negative makes it a positive.
Sure. That's too much math for me. But this and the next image were both drawn by our friend right here in the chat, the show, David Williams.
What? How crazy is that? So
David, because he's an amazing artist.
I mean, first of all, yeah. I mean, we've seen you do some amazing, just drawings and different things, and these are great. But how does this come about? Like, tell us about this.
It was a surreal moment. I got a message from Jeremy that just said, "Hey, how you doing? You got time for a phone call?" And I was like, "Yeah, Jeremy Gerard, I will talk on the phone with you. That would be insane." And as we all know, like the Horsemen have a ton of projects going all at the same time, where there's special things and secret things, and I think the pin designs were something that were kind of falling behind.
Mm-hmm.
And so he approached me and asked if I would be interested in doing the designs for the Legions Con 2024 pins. And obviously I couldn't say no. That's
right.
So incredibly exciting. So these are part of the results.
Yeah, these came out great. That's awesome. I will say I kind of hate when Jeremy does that because he'll do the same thing to me. He'll mess with me and be like, "Hey, do you have a minute to talk?" And in my mind, it's like, "Oh God, what did I mess up? What did I do?" He's gotta give me a lecture. I did something wrong, and it never is. But I don't know, just anxiety, whatever. But yeah, this is awesome, man. That's fantastic.
Thank you so much, man. I'm beyond excited. Like I can't even tell you how cool of an experience this has been.
Now, are you going to then tattoo these images on George and Chris at Legions Con?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
On opposites, put George on Chris and Chris on George.
Yeah, Chris on
for
George.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
You may not be able to answer this question, But if you can just say pass if you can't answer it. Are you continuing with the other exclusive? Are you doing the other two?
I don't know that it would be wrong of me to say I am.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
But
awesome. I love the direction of the light on these, on both of these.
Thank
It's
you.
really cool. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that was I don't typically work in color.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a challenging experience, but it was a ton of fun. Honestly just trying to figure out how to make these pins look like they're even similar to Nate's work,
Right.
because I mean those are huge shoes to fill, is to follow up anything Nate has ever done.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
But yeah, it's been a blast, and it's been a really it's been a learning experience, even just with digital art.
Yeah,
because it's so different from what I normally do.
Now, I know, this set as well as the other set, there's, like a plethora of heads and stuff that come with it. Did they have like a standard look that they were like, hey, we want you to use these for these individuals, or were you able to pick that?
No, yeah, they have a plan in mind,
Gotcha.
So it's just a matter of
Executing
doing what
it.
is requested of me. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and there were some revisions, and so I mean they were just wonderful to work with. I mean, we all know that they're an excellent company, but just like working with them on something like this is just that much more special. And you're like, man, these guys are the best,
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be cool. I would imagine we're probably going to see these on shirts at some point. I mean, that would be my guess. So
That'd be cool.
That would be cool too.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I didn't even consider that.
Very cool. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I know, Retro Rags does a lot of that stuff, so it wouldn't surprise me. Man, that's awesome. Yeah, good work.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Real quick.
Super talented.
I was going to say, leave me there, Curtis, but
No.
I get a couple more quick photos. We're not going to go through and critique all of these, like the shelf selections, but good friend of the show, good friend of ours, Elijah, Captain Firebeard Baker. I definitely recommend everybody go check out his Instagram. He's also got a YouTube page. He is just a really cool guy, and he's had there's Curtis and I with Elijah on the second from the left there, and Danny on the far left. He's just such a cool dude from the UK. So like he trekked all the way over here last year for Legion's Con for like a day, and was just really cool to get to meet him. But I saw this picture. This was going to be my shelf selection, one of my selections this week. And it's him taking a picture of Snag down like in the water. And I just thought that was really cool that he's, going to these efforts. And I know a lot of photographers do, but, getting to see him take the photo. And then this shot has been getting tons of action on Instagram this week. I think almost every notification I've gotten from Instagram this week was because I got tagged in this. So I keep seeing everybody reacting to his post, which is awesome. So, I mean, look at all of those goblins.
Yeah, he definitely loves his goblins.
Yeah. So I just wanted to show off a couple more shots here that he's done. Like, I mean, like I said, he's in the UK, so he gets to get some really cool locations, and some really cool shots, outdoors. You were talking about, Trevor commenting, about the scale and stuff, but like all the nature is so far behind them. And they're like actually in the water. Like I love seeing photographers actually put their figures in the water.
Yeah, don't feel too bad, Curtis, because that was actually one of my shelf selections, and Jesse put the axe on it and said, "Nope, too many."
I just said it's gonna get a special highlight. So, folks, please go follow our buddy Elijah, Captain Firebeard Baker, on Instagram. I put the link in the comments, and
you know what? Just a cool dude too. Like,
yeah,
I mean, He's a
He was
great
cool, man.
actor. He's like sometimes he'll we've got a chat with him that sometimes he'll leave a little voice message, and he's got that really awesome accent, and I could just listen to it all day. But yeah, just an awesome guy, and then does some great photography. Loves his goblins. Seeing him at Legion's Con last year was probably like the biggest surprise, like because I didn't know that he was coming, mostly because I'm an idiot and apparently I missed a message in our chat. But he showed up and I was like, holy shit, I didn't know you were gonna be here. Like it was very exciting moment. And yeah, he's just an awesome dude. So for sure.
And for anyone watching, when he was on the show, he did drop that he is actually in the Matt Reeves The Batman for a
Yes,
brief
he
scene.
is.
He's in the gang that's like coming off the subway train, or like the L train.
Yeah,
he's one of the
Cool.
Oh, that's
the gang
really
members
rad.
in there.
I didn't know that.
So
yeah. Yep, fun stuff. Awesome. So Arizona boys, how's it going?
It's hot, man.
It's hot.
It's funny because it's beautiful today, because we got a big storm, so it's been cloudy all day. I think it's in the 80s. So it's normally really hot. Right now it's beautiful.
Gotcha.
So David's about an hour and a half south of me,
Uh-huh.
and he gets all the storms. And then in Phoenix, all we get is the dust and the wind. You get no rain. It's 102 degrees right now. 6 p.m., 102.
Nice.
So yeah, we get the leftover of the storm. It cools him down, and then it just blows a bunch of dust for us out here.
So they just dissipate that fast over that distance. Wow.
Well, not to mention Phoenix, or where Thomas is at, is 100% city. Like it's concrete, asphalt everywhere. It's just hot.
Yeah.
Ours, Tucson's a little bit more opened up. There's a little bit more barren desert and stuff.
So obviously you guys are both mythic collectors. You collect other lines as well. How did you guys meet? Like what's the connection? Because obviously we know we've seen you guys at different conventions and stuff together, but and you guys seem like you're talking quite a bit. But yeah, how did you guys get together?
I'll leave that for Thomas.
Cool. So Legion's Con 2022. I went out on a whim and flew cross country. Didn't know anybody in the community in person. Had been in the Cabal at that point. And had some names I was familiar with, but really didn't have any connections. I had started collecting the line probably around 2020. I had picked up a few figures, and then 2021 I got into the online communities. 2022 I said, you know what, let's do it. These people are so nice online. Watch a Jeremy show and everyone in the Cabal, and I was like, all right, let's fly out there. Brought my best friend Sam with me. He had never played with a Legion's figure at all. And I'm like, hey, want to fly across the country to New Jersey in November with me? And he's like, wait, that's when we finally have nice weather here in Arizona. Why are you taking me to the snow? This has been my best friend since we were like 7 years old. So about 30 years of friendship. And he's like, all right, let's do it. We fly out there. We go to Legion's Con. Both of us super shy, don't really know anyone. We're just walking around all the tables. One of the things I knew I wanted was from Mythic Customs. You might know him, Mr. Jeremy Gerard.
Another up-and-comer. Yep.
So he was selling some goblins, and I'm a big goblin and dwarf fan. I know they don't get along, but those are kind of my two favorites. And there's some custom goblin heads that were just top of my list for this Legion's Con. So I beelined to Jeremy's table, picked them up, and was like, all right, let's do it. Let's get this one. I want this one. I'm super excited. I'm giddy. I get the goblins, and I'm like, all right, let's take a break, go outside. So the smaller venue, right? Just hanging out in front of the hotel, getting a breather. And I sit down, and this other guy is sitting next to me. It's like, hey, what's up, dude? You find anything cool today? I was like, I just got these 2 goblins. I absolutely love them. And he's like, oh, I painted those. And I was like, what the heck? Like, you did this? Like, wow, that's awesome, man. That's amazing. Like, all right, what's your name? Where are you from? You're from Tucson. I'm from Phoenix. We live like an hour apart, and we're both in New Jersey. And so we met at
Took
the
a
La
trip across
Quinta.
country to meet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
La Quinta in New Jersey. We met and just hit it off right there. Became friends at like right off the hit, and just really good vibes. David's such a great dude. We've started going to different shows together. I sell at a lot of shows here locally and set up booths. So we started getting together to do that and just kind of rotating out the collection, you know, because Legions takes up more and more space on the shelves, if not almost all of it. So got to file out everything else. There's a big show in Tucson for toys. So trekked down there and met up with David and did a show out there as well. So it's just been really cool to find somebody, you know, you don't really make a lot of friends when you start getting older at our ages. So to find somebody that you really click with and just hit it off right away is something to cherish, you know. So it's a really cool way to meet across the country, like literally one side to the other, and find out we're an hour apart. So yeah,
That's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, of course, you came to Legions Con, like, I mean, that was like crazy hot for Legions Con time of year that year. So
yeah, I mean,
how
I
was
had
that
packed
compared to
jackets, and
Especially
I was
since
ready
we
for
didn't
like
find
a
the air
blizzard.
conditioning till halfway through the convention. So
Yeah.
No, and Andrew found that setup night. It was late setup night, but he found it setup night.
yeah, it was still hot. It was
Yes,
super
it
warm.
was. It was very warm.
Well, I was going to ask you. You know, you talked about some like shows down there and stuff. You know, I'm in Missouri, and you know, we really don't have much. Like I've got there's a rotating show that's like every 2 or 3 months, but when I go there, I think maybe one time ever I saw like 2 or 3 Legions, and that's about it. Like there's nothing. You know, in your guys' area, when you do go to a show, do you ever see Legions, or is it just all other stuff that's there?
No. I have a friend that I've known for a while, and when he realized I was into Legions, he did a toy show and brought a bunch of his old Legions. But he's like straight up flipper. Like he just buys toys to sell, you know. So he'll get in on the pre-orders, buy them all, you know, a handful of them at a time, and then he just sells them for, you know, retail or higher or whatever. But for the most part, I never saw Legions in person until I ordered them from Big Bad Toy Store.
Same.
Gotcha. And no, like since then, like no retailers or anything you guys have found around you that you can go to, or it's pretty much all online shopping. Okay.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of like small shops out here that are like toy shops. Yeah,
I mean, you know, as I talk to folks like you, it just makes me realize how spoiled these East Coast guys are, you know. I mean, they get to go to all these shows. You see the Horsemen, you know, 5-6 times a year, and you know, get to buy Legions at discount prices. You don't have to pay for shipping because you're right there. You just pick it up.
And they have basements.
Yeah, Figure Obscura drops, and it's just like, oh well, I'm already here. Let me get it. It just came out 2 seconds ago. Well, let me have it. You know, freaking East Coast guys. So
you know, on the other note, I've been on the front end of shipping, and I've been on the very end of shipping, and it's pretty cool when I order something and I get it within the week, and I'm like, wow, they were so fast. And God, I forgot what wave it was that they like announced that they got the last box out. I think it was like Dennis Derby's or whatever. Mine had to have been the box right before that, because I got it. Everyone's like, "Did you get your figures yet?" I'm like, "No, not yet, dude." Like, they don't play favorites.
No, I mean,
that was Pox's, wasn't it? Just recently.
Yeah, I think it was Pox's that went out.
There's
Yeah, I got
I've been
mine.
the same way. Like there's been times where they start shipping and I get it within a few days and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And then there's times
Yeah.
where it's like they've been shipping for 3 weeks and I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't want to be that guy, but you know,
Yeah,
what
but
do
did
I
mine
get?
get lost, or is somebody mad at me?
Right. I think there was one wave. It might have been wasn't a Lithia because I didn't get in on a Lithia. It might have been one of the All Stars waves. But anyways, mine hadn't shipped, and I ended up ordering one figure off of eBay just because I couldn't wait. Like I needed to get one. It's like
Yeah.
I gotta get this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not as easy when you're Midwest or out west. So
Mhm.
man, that sucks. But you guys. Have you gone to? I know you're going to IshCon next week, which we're going to talk about. But have you guys gone to any other shows this year?
Well, not this year, but last year we went to the Mythic Meetup in Sacramento together, and we got a hotel together, and Iz and Nate Barch drove us around. Walter showed up a few times to hang. But yeah, like when I told Thomas I was going to IshCon, it was to let him know. I'm like, hey, you want to go to IshCon with me? We can share a room, So he's always kind of my go-to as far as like travel buddies with anything toy related.
Gotcha. Now, are you showing at IshCon, or are you just going there for fun?
No, the pin stuff came up a while back. So while I was talking to Jeremy, I'm like, I was just excited to be a part of something so special that I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to IshCon. Like I would have gone to PowerCon if there was one this year. So being that it was its replacement, I was like, I got to go, I got to go to the second big show for Legions. So
yeah, I think
I immediately,
go
ahead. I was saying, and then I immediately let Thomas know and gave him my schedule and was like, hey, I'm flying in these days.
Yep. It was right after PowerCon last year that we were both messaging each other like, hey, PowerCon next year, let's do it. Like, it looks like everybody had the best time there. Cosmic reveal, all just hanging out with the community, a nice, meeting point before all the way in November. And we're like, all right, we're doing PowerCon next year. And then there was no PowerCon.
Yeah, so. I think everybody had that idea except for Val, who runs PowerCon.
Yeah.
He's the only one that was like, nah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I do the MesquiCon, because it's kind of that midway point. It's about 4 or 5 months after Legions Con, and get to see quite a few people. Jesse was able to go this year, so that was awesome. And it's obviously not as busy as Legions Con, so it's kind of more intimate setting. Like when you go out to dinner and stuff, it's not as crazy. Like it's not an overload of all these people around you, and who should I talk to, and I don't have enough time, and you get to actually spend some more time and actually get to know people and stuff. So that's been fun. But that's awesome, and you guys are going to get to see a new wave revealed. So
yeah, that's going to be cool. Like I think that's going to be. I mean, just being in person for any of their events is a blast. So, as much fun as G-Con was last year, I imagine this year their cosmic reveal is going to be just as fun.
Yeah, I mean, Sacramento last year there was no wave reveal or anything. It was just hanging out with people in the community, like Major Reaction, who's typically tuning in. Matt hung out with him quite a bit out there. Late Night LeBron, Eric drove up from his neck of the woods. So it was cool to just hang out with everybody. We all talk a lot online, and it's even better when we get to all be in person together. So
for sure.
Nate Barch pulling up to take us to the meetup, like coming to our hotel. We were both like just fanboying, like, oh my God, it's Nate, like Nate Barch, be Nate picking us up. So it was really cool. And then meeting Sir Owen, such a nice guy. Like we got to go out, like you mentioned, dinner. So like we were able to go out to dinner with those guys after the meetup. It wasn't, thousands of people. So it was just real intimate and getting to hear, more about the stories, and Adam Power telling us, the history, little like nuggets of wisdom that we didn't know about the company, and nothing secret, but just fun
Well,
things that we can nerd out about.
Iz has done everything first. You know that, right? Like anything you can think of to do, Iz has done it already. So
we both flew in, I think it was 4 hours before we could check in. So Israel took us all around Sacramento and took us to lunch, and it was a blast just hanging out. It was just so bizarre to like hang out with these iconic characters in our community.
Yeah.
For something so intimate and small, as opposed to something as huge as Legion's Con where everybody's there.
Yeah, him and his wife were so welcoming. They took us to the state capitol. We got to see a big picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger, the former governor. And like, they were just so nice and welcoming, and just took us all around the town. They were like, "Hey, what else do you want to do? What else do you want to see?" Like, it was just amazing.
That's awesome.
So cool.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Jess, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and it's cool. Like, I mean, I'm sure you guys have you guys met Ish at the 22 con, right? Did you guys get to meet him?
Well, okay. That's what he made a joke about it before while we were backstage. The first time I did anything for YouTube was Iz came to my house and filmed my collection a few years ago, and that was prior to Legion's Con 2022.
I'm sorry, I might have said, I meant it like Ish of IshCon.
Oh, Ish. I thought you said Iz.
No, I'm sorry. You guys were talking about Iz, and I hit my
the script on us.
I forgot to hit my conversation clutch, and just the Ish of IshCon. Have you guys gotten to meet him at the 22 convention?
I didn't meet Ish. I don't think. And if I did, it's just a whirlwind of people,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I see his picture, I'm like, I think I met that guy.
I can't tell you how many people that we've had on the show that they'll talk about Legion's Con that they're at, and then Jesse's like, "Oh yeah, I was at that con too." Like, there's so many people that he was at the same convention. But I mean, it's just there's so many people there that you just can't talk to everybody, and so you end up getting to know them as you go. You can go to Legion's Con every single year and make new friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So well, I met Ish just in passing in 2022. Like, it was my first time in the community, so super shy, right? But he did stand out with all of them sleeping in the hallway the night before, and then having their wagons, and then the U-Haul. So it's like, okay, I gotta say hi to this guy. I gotta know what's up here. And he's like, we flew out. We're driving a U-Haul back.
Yeah.
And seeing him truck around him and Ryan trucking those wagons around at PowerCon or Van, it's especially Van, because that thing's like stacked up taller than he is. You just see this like thing of boxes just like rolling through the aisles. Oh man, you guys are gonna have. I mean, I have not been to IshCon, but knowing a bunch of the guys that are running it and helping with the tables and everything, you guys are gonna have an absolute blast down there. We all are. Sorry, Kurt. I'm not trying to rub that in.
No, it's cool. It's cool. It's all right. I'll be here crying. It's all right. No, but it's funny you were talking about kind of fanboying with Nate and stuff. So they've got that my favorite cosmic contest going on right now, and I'm lazy, so I haven't got mine in yet. But my wife did. She got her picture in and stuff, and she comes up to me the other day and she's like, "Nate Barch started following me," and she's like all excited about it. And I'm like, "Well, there you go." But like. I brought her to Legion's Con last year, and I was like, well, she's going to go and kind of support me. And I figured it would kind of be a one and done thing. Like, she would be there and be happy to be with me, but it, really wouldn't interest her. And she loved it, man. I mean, we went to intern and she fell in love with the people at the studio, and she was going around taking pictures with everybody. And so, yeah, I mean, I fully expect that she's going to be going every year now. I mean, she just loved it. So, and we've talked about that quite a bit on here, where it's like it's becoming more of like a family event. Like you're seeing people bring their spouses, bring their kids, and all that kind of stuff, and that's just awesome. You know, even if somebody doesn't collect the toys, it's such an awesome atmosphere to just be around and just amazing people. You know,
it's just incredibly welcoming and positive and just pleasant in general. You know.
Yeah.
On top.
I know. Friday night, I don't know, you know, tell me if you don't want to talk about this, just say, shut up, Curtis. But, you know, Friday night, you were kind of talking about, you know, the tattoo community and kind of, you know, trying to make a name for yourself there and, you know, that kind of thing versus your experience when you started customizing and stuff in the Cabal and stuff. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what I was explaining is that being in the tattooing community for 20 years it's just been a constant struggle of just trying to continually, you know, improve, but kind of become known, at least, you know, so I can pay my bills, you know. And luckily I have a decent clientele in Arizona, but, you know, just the Legions community is just so welcoming and so supportive that it's just, you know, it just snowballs to a point of where you feel like you know everybody, you feel like you're part of something, and I've never had that before in my professional career, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just something I look forward to, and I consider incredibly special because of that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, you guys were talking about you know, Legions Con 22, and I remember, you know, I'm sitting there helping out the Wolf King table and stuff, and helping out Stephen Bishotti, and I see David. I saw you walking around with Walter. He was walking with you and somebody else, and I'm like, man, who's this biker guy that's walking around with Walter? Like, you know, all the tats and stuff. Like I don't want to mess with that dude. Like, I want to stay out of the aisle. I don't want to accidentally bump into him. He's gonna kick my ass or something. And then like. And then I talk to you in the lobby and you're like the nicest dude ever. And it's like, you know, and then you fast forward 1 year and like, you know, go to Legions Con 23 and like, you know, your stuff is amazing. Like you just got all this, you know, amazing customs and stuff. And your work is just phenomenal. I mean, so good. And it like you said, it can kind of happen that fast because the community is just that good. And yeah. I mean, your stuff is just great, and it just, like you said, happens in a really quick time frame.
Yeah, and thank you for that. It's just, it all has come together so quickly. Like between like Legions chat and you know, the shows that you guys do every week, and it just has become this community where it's like, regardless of whether or not you've met in person, you're like all buds by the time you get to Legions Con.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. I know some people, you know, talk about getting nervous about going, you know, whether it's just, you know, they don't go do stuff much or, you know, social anxiety, whatever. And I was like, if you have a good time on the Cabal, you're going to have like, yeah, I obviously not trying to dismiss any of those things. Cause you know, we all, you know, Curtis and I have talked about different mental health stuff and different levels of things, but like, it's like you're saying, it's such a welcoming and embracing community for the most part. I mean, of course, like every group, there's a couple of people, but like you don't really see those people at Legions Con, like at the in-person events. Even if that's a personality online in their, you know, postings and stuff, like everybody I've met at Legions Con or these shows has been so fun to hang out with, and just really cool. So
yeah, I mean, I've struggled in the past with, you know, panic disorder and having panic attacks and stuff, and just especially in social situations. And so Legions Con 21, I just couldn't get myself to go. Like it just, I wanted to, but I just couldn't get myself to go. And, you know, after Legions Con, I've told this story before, but, you know, Len LaGuardia had sent me a photo and he had said, you know, I brought you to Legions Con with me. And he had taken a picture of one of my customs that I used Wolf King parts on, and he had posted it up in his booth. And it was just like the nicest thing. Like, you I had bought a few things from him, but we really hadn't talked that much. And it was just like the coolest thing. And I'm like, man, I got to go there next year. And I was still kind of nervous about it, but like you get there and as soon as you walk in and you start hanging out and talking to people, you're like, I'm going here every year. Like there is nothing that I could see happening that I would miss this,
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to speak for everybody because other people may have other, anxiety issues or something that they can't deal with it. But for me, it was like, everybody was so nice and so welcoming, and it was like being around family. So it wasn't a normal social stressful situation at all. So yeah, I can't ever see myself not going to Legion's Con.
Totally. Like, I think, sometimes I think that I've become introverted over the years. In high school, I was a lot more outgoing, and then I've just kind of, and I thought that I was more introverted, and then come to realize I'm actually very extroverted around the right people, and it's like,
yep.
I won't act as fun in a setting where I'm not comfortable and the vibes aren't right. But like Legion's Con, it's just, like you said, it's family. It's just a big gathering of like-minded people and from all different backgrounds and walks of life, right? Like, just together for this common like passion that we have, like not only for the toys, but I think for the creativity that is fueled by, Four Horsemen, and in all different ways, from the photography to the customizing to, people building dios, just that whole show floor is just, it's magic, man.
Yeah.
Well, doing drawn and customs, and now, so many people, might not be full-time jobs, but like people get pulled into it. Like they pull people to come up on the stages during the G-Con reveals. Like the first one I went to, I was like blown away. And now, David, you're doing the pin designs that, I'm going to have on my pin case with my, other, collectible pins from the line and stuff. And, hundreds of other people, I mean, probably more than hundreds of people. And it's just so cool. Yeah. You got a Dork Lair shirt, a George Hates Fun shirt, got a Charbot shirt there, it looks like, right?
Yeah.
And then Curtis is wearing
I just got
Silverhawks.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sports community, Curtis.
I suck.
Yeah.
No, but
I'm just
you're
gonna
right.
take spaghetti. I'm just gonna take pasta. And every time Curtis picks up a figure at Legion's Con this year and goes to like show it to someone, I'm just gonna snap like a whole like thing of pasta so it sounds like he's breaking a figure.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Right, all my Italian culture heritage friends, I'm not gonna cook it that way. I do. I have a small pot. I'm sorry.
So besides Legions, what other kind of things are you guys into? Like, well, I obviously, Thomas, I see some, quite a bit of Star Wars there behind you. Is that kind of your next big one besides Mythic Legions?
So at one point, when I started back into collecting as an adult, I think Black Series really drew me in. They're all in bins at this point. The masks or the helmets back there are just really cool showpieces that I can't bring myself to get rid of. But after finding Legions, it's been, that's been it as far as like what I'm constantly looking to grow the collection and keep up on. My next closest is Mezco. I've got 5 or 6 Detolfs to my right here that are all just filled with Mezcos. A lot of DC, so they do really good with the Batman stuff. And I collect a lot. I've got way too much stuff, man. That's why I do all these shows, because I got to rotate through it. NECA had such a grasp on me with the Turtles. The original cartoon is near and dear to my heart. My grandma used to record the cartoons for me in France. And when I would go back there in the summers to visit my family, she would have, VHSs that she had pre-recorded, all the Turtles cartoons. So I just, nowadays, I think back that my grandma just sat there and watched these cartoons by herself to be able to record them on the VHS for me. So I like those NECAs really got a grip on me. But I mean, I collect a lot of stuff, but probably Mezco and Legions are the top two that I can't seem to get away from.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was looking behind you on the other side, and I see the artist formerly known as Slave One. So
yeah, yeah, Boba Fett and Mando, love those guys.
Awesome.
I got a question. What's on that 1, 2, 3, fourth shelf down on? I guess it's your left behind you. There's like a guy with like a spear next to a box or something.
Oh, the Predator from Prey.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not at all a Predator or Alien guy, but when I watched Prey, like that movie was just amazing. I had to get the figure. Like I have a lot of passion outside of like toy collecting for just different cultures, and the way that they represented like the indigenous people in that movie, and that they went through and actually did the whole movie in that dialect and everything. It was an amazing movie. I had to have a piece of it on my shelf.
Yeah, they did a good
Awesome.
job for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, David? Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Jesse.
I was just going to say, I don't know if I noticed this previously, but I just clocked what that pattern is on your pillows.
Oh yeah, my shining pillows.
Yeah. My friends have a carpet in their entryway of their house. That's that.
Gotcha.
That's awesome.
Well, so David, other than Legions, what else are you into?
Oh, I do the original Turtles, like the 4 Turtles of just about everything. Like I prefer the Mirage look. So I have all the Mirage NECA stuff, from all the way to the 4 Horsemen Mirage Turtles. I got really into He-Man Origins, or the Masters of the Universe Origins, and I never had anywhere to put them. So I recently built some shelving, and I just got to open a bunch of old Origins figures the other day. So that's been really fun. But He-Man's like one of the reasons I got into Legion. So
yeah,
that'll forever be something special to me. But I can't really get super into the Masterverse stuff. It's not familiar enough, you know?
Yeah.
Like they stray a little bit far from the original designs.
Mm-hmm.
I do collect Predator stuff. So it's like, you know, I have the Mezco Predator, most of the NECA stuff, some of the Kenner ones I didn't get. But yeah, I have really specific collecting habits that I don't even think about until it comes up. You know, someone will be like, "Have you heard of that?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm obsessed with it." And I didn't even mention it, you know?
Now is most of your stuff newer, or do you have like some nostalgic, you know, stuff that you picked up that, you know, you had in your youth kind of thing?
Oh yeah, I go back and forth. Like I have a couple of mask things that I'd like to pick up still. I went on a little Battle Beast tangent where I was picking up just familiar Battle Beasts from when I used to play with them. Me and you talked about the Cops and Crooks stuff. But yeah, like vintage toys, I still have a ton of them. Like I have totes full of my old
like
toys.
Stuff from you when you were younger.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Oh, all that's cool.
I have my 4 original Turtles at the tattoo shop. Like I keep them on my desk.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty special. But I have like the light up Lion-O from LJN. I still have him. He's complete. He still lights up.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been a toy person. Like I've been into toys my whole life. I never went to a cool stage where I was like, I don't like this stuff anymore, man. I like girls. I was like, now I like girls and action figures, you know?
Yeah, I never had a cool stage. I had I got shamed out of collecting phase. So I never once thought, well, I don't collect toys anymore, so now I'm cool. That was never a thought in my head.
Yeah, I'm the youngest of 6, and I am certainly the unique one. And my parents really embraced that. So the fact that I was into drawing comic books and playing with toys and, you know, collecting and keeping my action figures in good shape. You know, they were like, whatever, man, that's just what he's into, you know?
Nice. And did you grow up in that area that you're in now in Arizona?
I did. Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. What about you?
I love
Thomas?
it here.
You always been there in Arizona?
No, I was born in France.
Oh,
I know I don't have the accent, but I can have the accent if I want. So I was born in France.
I love your fries.
Oh yes, and our frogs. Baguettes, oui. So I grew up in Normandy, northern France.
Okay.
And my tie to Legions is more the medieval and the fantasy pool. I was never a Motu guy, but I always wanted knight action figures, and there was never any knight action figures. So yeah, I was born out there. My family immigrated to America when I was 6, but my grandparents, my uncles all still live out there. So I try to go back once a year to see them. But yeah, from Normandy, France to Phoenix, Arizona. So it's been 2 places. I lived in Seattle for a couple of years when I was working for Amazon. I did a supply chain for them for about 12 years, and then figured out I don't want to work in the corporate world anymore. So yeah.
Awesome. So what kind of things were you into when you were younger, as far as toy wise?
So Turtles and Batman. I had pretty much all the Kenner Batmans and the animated series stuff. Similar to David, I still have a lot of my stuff from when I was a kid.
That's so cool, man. I don't have anything from when I was younger. That's
like
awesome.
a fool, I took my Turtles to a store and traded them in for some credit. Just one day I wasn't thinking that I'd miss them, and then a week later I was like, what the heck did I do? I wish I had those back. So I traded my Turtles in for some credit to get some other toys, and regret that to this day. But I've still got all my Batman the Animated Series. I've got my Batmobile from the animated series actually right up there, like cherished piece from the collection. From there, I did a lot of Star Wars Micro Machines. I was really big into those. That was like just world building with those things. It was so much fun.
Just the vehicles, or did you get like the sets with the little people and stuff too? Like
the sets with the little people and like the heads that would open up, so it would be like a C3PO, and then inside was like I don't remember what was in that one, but you know, yeah, those were super fun.
The only one I remember for sure is the Darth Vader. You opened it up and it was like the scene from Empire. So you had like you had a thing where he's fighting Luke up there, and then you also had like the Han Solo and Carbonite that you could twist it and it would go up and down. Yeah, that's the only one I remember. But I do remember there was like a C3PO, there was an R2, but I don't remember what scenes were in them. But those were a lot of fun.
R2 was Jabba the Hutt's palace.
Is that what it was?
I think. And there was like a Rancor pit, and like that miniature Rancor was like one of my favorite toys when I was a kid. It was like, you know, this big, but I love that damn thing.
Yeah.
Real quick, we got a super chat from the one and only Hedgehog Action. Hey now, guys, have a great show. Have a great show.
Thank you, sir.
Hedgehog.
Appreciate it.
And make sure, folks, that you go back and check out, you know, Saturday night live from yesterday. It was a fun episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to say that Hedgehog was one of the first strangers I talked to at Legions Con 2022. And he literally walked up to me, shook my hand, and he goes, "Hey, man, do you want a beer or something?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "What kind of beer you like?" And I was like, like a Miller Lite." And he was like, "Okay, I'm going to go to the store." And then he just left. And I was like, who did I just talk? What was that all about? And then he came back and he handed me a 12-pack of beer. And I was like, what do I owe you? And he was like, just don't worry about it, man. And then like, I was like, I think this is my new best friend or something. Like, I love this guy.
Yeah, we were talking, I think it was a couple weeks ago on Saturday Night Live. We're talking about how his his attire has changed though since he entered the community. I mean, he started off, he was the man in the $1 million suit.
Yeah,
and then it was like,
kind of guy.
then he had like hoodies, and now like you see him with a satchel on, and it's like what are you turning into, Indiana Jones? Like, what's going on?
Well, we love all iterations of him, so
For sure, yeah. Any way we can get Hedgehog, we'll take it. So,
well, I didn't even recognize him the first time I saw him, because I became aware of him because of that whole $1 million suit thing, like Brad and Mike talking about it. And then I walked by him going into RetroCon, and I was like, I didn't see him. Sean and I were just walking in, and I was like, "Is that Jesse?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "It's like, why is someone saying, I'm like, who?" I turned around and I'm like, I don't recognize anybody. And then he stepped up and introduced himself. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't recognize you without the suit. But it was just so weird getting name called out.
I love his show. when he does a live walkthrough of the conventions on the East Coast. I love those because, I don't get to go over there and do all those stuff, but I've got a lot of friends that are there. His satchel game is strong, but like he'll go to ZoloCon or RetroCon or whatever, and then he'll walk around and it's like, oh man, there's Len and there's Nathan and there's Jesse, and he does those walkthroughs, which are kind of cool because then it's like, you're almost there, but you're not there. So
yeah, I do.
Hedgehog
I always tune into the live ones.
Yeah,
he's such a cool dude, and like what he does for us at the shows, like he does the walkthroughs and everything, but he'll come through and he'll get like footage that's basically like a mini commercial for like Wolf King and the tables. He'll like run out and do, like you said. I mean, he hasn't run out and gotten me any beers. He might have offered, but I probably turned it down. But like he's just such a cool dude, and there's a whole bunch of people that help. I know with the Wolf King stuff and with Toy Forge, and I know Jordan, those guys help with Ish. It's just so cool, like all these little like mini teams of people that like form around the different people that do the shows that just like help get stuff done, and like they don't expect that.
Just people that just help out of nowhere. Like I know the last 2 years at Legion's Con, like Steve O'Beg would just walk around. He's like, "Hey man, anybody need a bathroom break? And you need me to cover your table real quick?" It's like just out of nowhere. And that's just kind of the community that we're in. It's pretty awesome. So
yeah.
So, IshCon, Jesse, you're heading down next week. You're coming in on Friday, correct?
Well, yeah, we're leaving at like 8:30 Friday morning. I don't know how long of a drive it is from here to there.
And then are you guys arriving Friday as well?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, we'll be there Friday.
Gotcha. Are you guys
5 a.m. flight?
Is everybody doing the VIP night? All three of you guys?
Yeah,
I am.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Sweet. And so VIP night, they're going to have the Gunner for sale early, right? And then you get early access to some of the vendor items that they're going to have and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like cool. And then aren't they doing some sort of like a room swap at some point, or like?
Yeah, I honestly don't know how that works. I have like a carry-on suitcase that I'm going to just throw some figures in there. Just kind of stuff I don't need that might be of interest to some people. And I mean, I'll swap stuff or sell stuff or whatever. And if that doesn't happen, then I'll just take them back home.
Well, speaking of stuff, you had reached out to me and said that you wanted to do a giveaway tonight.
I did. I would like to give away a Cosmic Walter the Mad.
Oh,
nice.
It's orange like my house, so
it blends in. He barely could find it, folks.
let's make the hashtag orange.
All right,
orange. Okay, let me get that ready here.
All right. Well, as Jesse gets that ready, you guys will have a chance to put in that hashtag and go from there. So. I mean, I understand those. I've never done one of those room swap things, but I hear they're kind of fun. Like you just like, my understanding is that some of them, they'll just have like, people just have like their doors open to their room, and like you go in and they got stuff laid out almost like it's a vendor table, but it's like in their hotel room, and they're like, hey, I've got this, do you want this? Okay, cool, sounds good. And like, I don't know, it's a very interesting concept. I've never participated in one of those.
I haven't either, and I even like toy shows. My first experience with toy shows was with Thomas, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna let him take the lead and be like, are we doing a room swap in our room? Or are we gonna do it in the lobby, or are we doing a room swap?
Yeah, it's a little tough for us flying cross country for room swap. I've never done something like that either. When I do the local shows, you know, we've got a couple plastic bins that we can bring in. I'm not gonna bring a couple plastic bins on the plane with me.
No.
Maybe on the way home. Depending what I find and pick up. But the room swap thing sounds like a lot of fun. Even, you know, like David said, grab a couple figures. Like I've got, I think, like a Shadow Elf Ranger or a couple things that I'm not using that I can bring just to like have something and participate. And even if we don't have anything, like just to hang out and pop in, see like what people have. And I'm sure you can swap cash for things too. I think that works as well.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, it sounds like a good time. Going back to the what's it called? The toy shows that we do out here. I reached out. So you asked us earlier if we had any Four Horsemen representation out here. And like David, the only time I got a Four Horsemen figure was through Big Bad Toy Store, because we don't have any approved retailers out here, and it's few and far between to get them in hand in Arizona. So I reached out to Jeremy and asked him, you know, would there be an opportunity for us to do a street team event in Arizona? So I've actually been talking to him for a couple months about this, and we are looking to do a street team event in September, on September 7th here in Phoenix.
Awesome.
It'll be, you know, small, just getting things off the ground, but really excited. So it's a toy show that I do kind of quarterly with Polar Bear's Pop Culture Shop here in Phoenix. He puts on this show called Epic Toy Show about once a quarter. Just all local. The AZ community comes together. Everyone's got their tables. Not really any retailers except for him being the toy store. It's all just individuals bringing their stuff, right? But I thought it'd be a great opportunity for us to just spread the love of, you know, Legions out here and get more people familiar with the line. Because I think one of the big things is once you hold one of these in hand, like, it changes everything. Like I remember the first time I picked up a skeleton Legion builder, was like, this is not your average toy. Like me and Jesse were joking about, like, they're built different.
Right.
They're just like, there's something just so different about them. When you pick one of those up, you're like, okay, I love this. I don't know what it is. Is it the weight? Is it the plastic? Is it the movement? It's all of those things, right? So
yeah,
I think I'm really excited about that. So I know we've got Jeremy's and AZ. Hopefully we got a few more people in the community, and then Digs Figs Ryan is also an AZ.
Well, and there's some folks, you know, nearby, like they were talking about. Joe Gonzalez lives in Nevada. Like I'm sure there's some people that could maybe make the drive for that, because, you know, to your point, like there's not much around there. So I mean, even if it's a, you know, let's say a 3 or 4 hour drive, that's still better than you're ever going to get in that area. So
yeah. Exactly.
Totally.
Able to get table prices.
That's awesome,
If
man.
if I wasn't doing RetroCon that weekend, I would maybe try to figure out a way to go.
Man, that would be so fun.
Cool.
Maybe next year.
Yeah.
If it goes well, which, you know, I'm putting all the positivity out there that it's going to be an amazing time. It's something that I hope that we can keep doing. First, we got to get the first one off the ground, right? But it's just something I've become so passionate about over the years. It's taken my toy collecting and my creativity to another level. with a lot of these other lines that I was collecting, it was just about just collecting and putting them on a shelf. I was an inbox guy for a little bit, and I got over that real quick. It's like I need to play with my toys. That's what they are. They're toys. And then I discovered toy photography, and some of my friends in Arizona at these local toy shows, they were like, "Hey man, like, do you know about toy photography?" I was like, "Yeah, I take pictures of my toys," but I didn't know there was a community out there. And they were like, "Dude, like," I showed them some of my pictures, which I just kept near and dear to my heart on my phone. They're like, "You need to put these things on Instagram and like share your photography." I was like, "People do that?" And they were like, "Yeah, like you need to share it." And so I ended up changing my Instagram from taking pictures of my meals that I cook, because I love cooking as well. And everybody was probably sick of seeing me cook up food and share my pictures of my food, because that's what Instagram was built for originally.
Yeah.
But pivoting into toy photography, and then Legions they kind of became a muse and like something that really drives my creativity, where I can imagine these scenes or these characters in certain settings. It's been really fun to grow in those skills and in that, craft, while being able to enjoy just these awesome figures that they're so unique, and you don't feel like, even if you can put Mario with the turtles and have them bashing each other, like these ones, there's not that much story behind them. I mean, Jeremy's building us a great story at this point, but I think our creativity can really run wild with these figures that they're releasing. So
I think they leave enough runway that you can make up your own story. But if you do want the lore, it is there. Like you can get it. But I like that they leave the door open. I've thought about doing something like that here in like the St. Louis area, but I just honestly, I don't know. I know there's a few people across the river in Illinois that collect, but there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of people that really collect around here. And so I don't know how successful that would be. But, to your point too, though, sometimes you just got to get one of these in somebody's hand and then, it's game over. Like that's how it was with me. And I know a lot of people the same way, that like somebody gave them a figure or had them play with a figure, and then, they were off to the races. So what was your guys' first experience with Legions?
Thomas?
Mine was the Skeleton Legion Builder. That's what drew me. I was like, these guys are making skeleton action figures, and they're like fully posable, and they've got armor too. Like they can be like undead knights. Like, yes, please let me have these.
And did you see it online first, or did you see it somewhere in person?
So it was online, and for a long time I was just antsy to find a new line, and I had heard about Mythic Legions, and they were like, it was almost like a secret society, like that you heard about through the grapevine, but you never saw them in stores. Like It wasn't like getting your Black Series at Walgreens or your other things at Target. It was like, where are these and what are these, and like, how do I get into this club? And then I went on Big Bad Toy Store, and my first figures were a Skeleton Legion Builder and Archimedes, who is still one of my favorites. I love mythology, and like a Cyclops is just badass. Like, so he is still right up there for me. But yeah, it was those two, and just playing around with them and seeing these creatures in plastic form that were straight out of Eric's mind was like, wow.
Well, I'll get to David in a second, but I got to ask you a follow-up question on that, because I hear this a lot. And I want to ask is did you do the thing that a lot of us do, where you lied to yourself and said, I'm only going to get these types of figures from this line?
Totally. It was just skeletons and this Cyclops guy, because he's just too cool to pass up on him.
Yeah.
Well, goblins. I need goblins. And
yeah.
Well, if I got goblins, I need dwarfs. Like, you can't have one without the other. And then it's, well, all right, I'm all in. What's the next release? Okay, all in. And all in. And yeah.
That's very common. What about you, David? What got you started?
Well, hold on real quick. I'm going to bring this Can I bring this up real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
Folks, we'll probably spin this after David's done answering this question. So if you want to hashtag orange for the Cosmic Waltor the Mad that David is offering up.
Which matches David's room.
Yes,
sir.
So hashtag orange, and we'll spin that in a couple minutes. All right. Sorry, David, go ahead.
Oh, so what got me into Legions in particular was seeing Vard on Instagram. It was like one of the first times that you started getting like advertisements.
Yeah.
And I got a 4 Horsemen advertisement, and I was like, that is the coolest little weird bat guy that I have to get, you know? And so I went to the website. Ordered him. You know, he was $37 or $44 or whatever, because he's a deluxe figure. And then I checked out, I paid for it, and I was like, oh, that was a pre-order. Like, who knows when I'm going to get that weird bat guy, you know?
So this was directly from the Horseman?
Yeah, this is during the Alithia pre-order.
Gotcha.
And so I went to Big Bad Toy Store, and they had a ton of stuff available at Big Bad Toy Store at that time. So I picked up kind of one of every body style. I picked up Kauros, Elf, Ranger, Snag, Hagnon, and a Templar. And that was my first like order. And the first figure I ordered, or the first figure I opened, was Kauros because of the He-Man thing.
Mm-hmm.
And just what we were saying earlier, just like the way it felt in my hand, I was like, I didn't do that lie to myself thing. I was like, I'm buying every single one of them. Like, I have to. They're great, you know?
Gotcha. Yeah, I see. My first like even knowledge of Mythic Legions was just being on some of the Motu boards and stuff and seeing some of the tribute figures. Mm-hmm. So I think the first one I saw was probably Kauros, and I was like, what is this thing? It's like they made Battle Cat into a person. Like, what's like, I didn't understand like what's going on. It was cool, but I didn't get it. And then I saw Podcasters of the Universe, which is Stephen Bisciotti and Jeremy DeWitt. They were doing a live review of Darina and Lord Dragul. And I saw that Lord Dragul, and I had commented in there that it was like the coolest thing I ever saw. Like, just the colors. Like, you know, I love the old Motu days where like everything was just these bright colors, like in your face, like super bright colors. And that Lord Dragul just like blew me away. And I had commented in there, and afterwards, Steven just messaged me. He's like, "Hey, what's your address?" And I was like, I thought they were going to send me like some stickers or something from the show or whatever. And he just sent me a Lord Dragul, and I was like, I opened it up, and you know, you guys know how it is. Like once you get that thing in hand, it's like, these are the best figures I've ever held in my hand. Like they're so freaking good. It's like, okay, now I got to go get a whole bunch more. And I hit up Big Bad Toy Store because Alithia had just closed out. I missed the pre-order for Alithia. So I hit Big Bad Toy Store and I got everything that they had, which was at the time it was like Lord Vateris, Fury Orcs, and Templars. And that was pretty much it. And so I loaded up on those. And then I was like, yeah, but I'm not going to do the skeletons, and I'm not going to do the goblins. I'm not going to do the dwarves. Like those, I'm just not going to do those. I'll do these other ones. And I think the last holdout was dwarves. That was the last one that I didn't get. And then I finally was like, okay, I got to get some of these guys. It wasn't good.
Yeah, the Motu stuff instantly became priority. I acquired all of it, but Unkin pretty quickly. So within my first group of legions that I had all the tributes.
Oh, nice.
Like, I was able to get Adamon and Keltis both really cheap. And then from there, everything else was pretty affordable. So,
yeah, it's weird because the Motu tributes definitely got me into the line, and now they're the ones that I have the least attachment to.
Oh.
You know, so
they have their own. At my house, they have their own shelf. Like it's like they're front and center.
I really like what they did with Scourge and Operative 83 by putting them in Cosmic, because it feels like those really outlandish colors work better in Cosmic than they do in Mythic. They just fit better. So if they continue to do, I mean, I know there wasn't a PowerCon this year, so I don't know that we'll get any this year. But if they continue to do those, I hope that they do more of the cosmic ones, because I think it's just better for it. So
I agree. I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be really cool.
That Operative 83, I think, is the best version of Manny Faces in any toy line.
I love Operative 83.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah. What about you, Jesse? What got you in? What was your first figure?
So springtime, like late winter, early springtime 2021. I think we were getting some of those, like one of those like last stimulus checks or whatever for COVID stuff, and or I was getting my taxes back, or so I was getting an influx of money that I didn't normally have. So of course I'm going to spend it on toys.
Of course.
I had seen some Mythic Legions online on Big Bad Toy Store, but I thought they were part of that. Is it the Hot Toys or Sideshow? Was it the Court of the Damned or something?
Okay, I don't know.
Or Court of the Dead. It's like because I saw like the characters, like some names were like affiliated with Necronomina, so it was just kind of these very like kind of like gothic looking fantasy medieval, like this like undead like lich woman with like I don't know, it was on I didn't know what they were, so I thought they were part of that because I had seen that a couple times. I'd seen some of the Court of the Dead, thank you, but the not the boss fight stuff they're doing now, like the bigger, I think they were 1/6 scale, whatever it was, super fancy, super detailed, and I was like, wow, these are really cool. And then I figured out what Mythic Legions was, its own thing. And I was looking at a bunch of the green ones because green is my favorite color. And I was, really all in on Black Series and Marvel Legends. And I wanted to get a couple things to just have like cool shelf of just kind of like more, indie style toys. So I had seen the Plunderlings around that time, and a bunch of the green ones. So I saw like Thistlethorn, Queen Urxa, Mira Golden Branch, Calros, Snag, and I was like, oh, okay, those guys are pretty cool. So I narrowed it down. I'm like, this Thistlethorn guy looks really unique, really cool. And I went to get it, and I was waiting for that thing to come in like a day later, and it was sold out on Big Bad Toy Store. It was gone. So
the 24 Bandit got you, huh?
I hear about this 24 Bandit, which for a while everybody was saying was me, but up until PowerCon 2 years ago, I only had one, and I only have two because Mike Casper gave me a second one. But I got him in. He arrived on St. Patrick's Day that year, and that was gonna be it. I wasn't gonna get any more. But then the Alithia and Wave was on Big Bad at that time. And I'm like, oh, these are kind of cool. Maybe I'll get some of that. Didn't know the story, didn't know the line, didn't know anything about like the Four Horsemen, like connection to it. Like I wasn't looking into all that stuff. So I had him. And then a couple of months later, Sean was telling me about the Cabal and, all these like podcasts, the Myo's going to kill me guys and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like he like won like a troll and brought it over. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then he's like, oh, someone's selling a bunch of stuff in the Cabal today. And, he sent me some pictures, and I was like, oh, he's like, well, how much is that Evil Lynn one going for? And he was like $50 or $60. I was like, all right, I'll take her. I was like, because it was just cool looking, unique, the yellow and the blue. And then, and then he told me about a couple others ones and sent me some pictures from the Cabal. And eventually he talked me into going to Legions Con. And like, as I was going to Legions Con that year, I was like starting to get ideas. I had between Sean and Douglas Tupper, who I worked with at the comic shop. He was into Mythic Legions and starting to customize and everything at that point. So, I got into it with the two of them talking about these things, and going into Legions Con that first year, I wasn't in the community yet, but I was like, this customizing thing sounds kind of cool. I found some Planetary Dog stuff, and I was vaguely aware of Mythic Conversations at that point, or Mythic Customs. But yeah. You leave Camellia out of this. She didn't steal any Thistlethorns. Just everything else she can get her hands on. But no, that's. And then I went to that Legions Con 21, And that's the one that like, because I wasn't in the community, that's what keeps shocking me. Like when I hear stories about people being there, because like, oh, cool. It's just cool that like now I know some of these people. It's like, oh, like
Right.
now I know you and you were in the same room and I had no idea who you were at the time. But now, it's just really cool. All the connections that got made, like we were talking about the conventions earlier. So
Yeah.
the toys got me interested and that con got me hooked, and the people are what keep me here. So
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, obviously I listen to My Wife Is Gonna Kill Me. Oh, you want to roll this?
yeah, let's roll this.
34 out of 39. Yeah, let's hit it.
Yeah. All right, folks, here we go. Oh, nope, I can't click it on the screen over there. Here we go. In 2, 1, 3.
And we do have Joe with us now, so Joe G Live must be over. So go back and check that out on Brick Something's channel.
Mark Rivera.
Nice.
Congrats, Mark.
Very nice.
Mark should just have, David, just have Mark reach out to you on.
Yeah, either Instagram or on Messenger in the Cabal.
Okay.
And I will get that sent out first thing in the morning.
Excellent. All right.
Well, I was going to say, I listen to My Wife Is Going to Kill Me, and sometimes they just talk about some dumb shit. But they did have one question that came up one time that was an interesting question, and it was basically like if you could only keep one going forward, and it was either the Mythic Legion's toys or the Mythic Legion's community, which one would you keep? And it's a tough question. It really is. But, we have that saying, like, you come for the toys, stay for the community. I really think that's true. I think that the community is... I would not want to give up these toys, but I definitely couldn't give up the community.
But what is it called when you're like, there wouldn't be one without the other?
Yeah,
like, at this point, I could say that I could get rid of these toys because I have all of you guys.
Yeah.
And, but ultimately, if it wasn't for these toys, I would still be just like a weird, grouchy dude that doesn't have any friends,
Yeah.
But, no, that's a hard question. And it's again, I think I would give up all of this for all these wonderful people that I've met. Sure.
Yeah, I mean the human connections, and it's something, you hear people talk about it's more than a toy line, and it sounds kind of sappy, but it really is true. Like,
oh, absolutely.
We've met people through this community that have completely changed the course of our lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Is it Syndemus?
Who to what? Jesse's on a brain tangent.
I'm looking for that word.
I didn't know there was a word.
You said word or a phrase for one not existing without the other.
Oh, gotcha.
Synonymous?
No, mutually exclusive?
I don't know. This is the part of the show where Jesse looks things up.
Yeah.
Well, like the one definition I'm finding here, like
Joe says he's keeping the toys. Catch you later, losers.
I think it's just like it's supposed to be like a phonetic spelling of synonymous, but there's interdependency. I don't know. Now I feel like there should be a word for that.
Symbiotic.
Yeah. Greg says, I love you all, but I'm not giving up Sir Utsak.
Tom just said it in the chat.
Yeah.
Symbiotic.
That's true.
I mean, that is a great character.
I don't think it's symbiotic, because symbiotic is
we are Venom.
Yeah, it's like, one of those things would be able to exist on its own, but like they have that symbiote where they benefit each other.
Sure.
Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Oh, I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Well, in that case, I've got this to bring up. since we're talking about IshCon next weekend and all that, there is a really fun graphic here showing off the whole weekend of events. So here's the schedule. Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. private VIP event. This is where you can get your Tusk Heavy Gunner. It is a 1 per person. I did make sure I read that on the post. 100 tickets, so 100 people. That's Friday night, 7 to 9. 9 p.m. to later is the lobby/room swaps and hangouts. So
so some of it will be in the lobby too. Okay.
After the doors close, some of the other doors will open. That goes till whenever. Saturday, this is nice. Saturday, show starts at 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. So it is not a butt crack of dawn show to start off.
Right.
There is a pop and swap event from the IshCon team from 1 to 3.
Cool.
4 to 5, there is a Q&A with the 4 horsemen. And break for dinner, do whatever you're going to do, refresh up, whatever. And then at 8 p.m. to 9:30, Ox Crew Book 2, Cosmic Legion's Wave Reveal, rather. And then more after hours fun, 9:30 to whenever. And all these things are happening in I believe the venue, the hotel of the whole thing. So for more information, go to ishcon.net or go to Source Horseman and look up the gunner, the Tusk Heavy Gunner page, and you will find this listing on there as well.
And for those going to the event, shout out to Purple Gang. My understanding is they will be going live from the same room that the 4 horsemen are doing the reveal. So after the reveal, they'll be setting up and then going live right afterwards. So if you're there at the event and you see the reveal show and then you want to hang around for a live version of PGG, just stay in that same room. So.
Yeah, I'm super excited for the reveal, but I'm equally as excited for the Q&A with Darius. The Amazing is just such a gem of a person, and for him to be the one hosting that is going to be, I think, really awesome. So I'm looking forward to sneaking out of the con to getting to do that as well.
Yeah, that'll be a ton of fun. Beautiful. What now? Listen, I'm the guy that's very anti-speculation, but you guys are going to see a cosmic wave. We've already seen the first wave of an Ox Crew. We know that there's 3 more people on the crew. Obviously, we've seen some of the other creatures of that world. What's excited you so far from Ox Crew, and is there something that you're looking forward to seeing in this next wave?
With cosmic stuff, it's the only stuff I just don't know what to expect, So it's like I really like the spacesuits, like the mech suit style thing.
Yeah,
so I'm excited about maybe more characters wearing that stuff. But whatever Eric and the team makes up is gonna be better than anything I could think of.
Do you have a favorite from the first Ox Crew wave?
What do I have to think about it. I like Callie and Shun, or not Callie and Shun. This one here that's on the screen.
Kern Ray.
But I like the blue, like the main guy next to. I forget his name. And then the lizard guy is awesome too.
Yeah,
Daxian. Yeah, the scout.
What about you,
for
Tom?
Some reason,
go ahead.
I was
Dave.
going to say, for some reason, the Ox Crew is the hardest names for me to remember.
Yeah.
Out of all Legion stuff, for some reason, Ox Crew was like...
They got a little out there with some of the names.
It's cool, man.
What about you, Thomas? Anything that... Well, first, what's your favorite from the first wave, and then anything you're looking forward to in the new one?
Oh, man. From this one, it's tough. They're all just... At first, it was the mech suits, but then I saw, Ukha, and he is just so different, right? And then when you see him in person, you see the scale of him next to all the other figures.
Mhm.
He's just so unique. Like, that's probably one of my favorite things about, mythic or cosmic is just all these creatures that are in Eric Treadaway's mind that he's like, let me put these in plastic form. He looks just so fun. Like, I can't wait to take pictures of him and set him in some like outer planet desert landscapes, just scavenging around.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona would be the great place to take this guy.
Yeah, get outdoor in the winter and take some shots with him. That little dwarf guy though is pretty sweet too. I mean, they're
Orvar.
all just, yeah,
Yeah,
they're all so
Orvar's
unique.
my favorite. I just love that big stupid green head on him.
Yep.
It's ridiculous, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I love that figure. I love those suits. They're just so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the alternate head where he's got like the puffy like cheeks. Like he's I don't know what that is, but yeah, that alternate head's awesome. Yeah, this dude's my favorite. I love him. Jesse, what about you? Anything that you're hoping for, or you have a favorite from this first wave?
Well, from this first wave, I really like Kern Ray. Just that when they, I know a lot of people prefer like this helmeted thing on her, and I do really like that, but I like that when you take it off, it's such a different face underneath compared to that. And I love that she's connected to or at least the same species as the Sligor character.
I love that pauldron that you just had the mouse over, like that, like all the little electronics hanging off of that and stuff is so cool.
And I love that she's, another 1.0 female character. And just the soft goods of the coat, all these like little like worn weather details on like these soft goods and stuff. And I'm just really intrigued about this story behind her, the parts, I love the figure as is, but potential for parts and customizing. And I gotta agree with Thomas that Uka is right there. He's such a weird, funky guy. Like he's at this point, he looks to me like, for me, the Thistlethorn of Cosmics at this point. That said, the whole wave is cool. This is the first wave of Cosmics that I've been super excited for. Like I think all of them so far are really cool. But the story of this line, this wave that kind of, hey, we got a dog. Hello, dog.
It's like Uka.
Yeah, he does. Just give him some tree trimmer and a backpack.
That silly tree trimmer weapon.
I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that. But
no, definitely.
I love the kind of, Fantastic Four Lost in Space vibe of like this crew is like the family. They're just trying to survive.
Yep.
But I really like the dimensions of that setting rather than the prison setting we've gotten so far, which is just a personal. I don't think it's bad. It's just not my flavor. But like the teaser image, I'm assuming, that I'm assuming we're going to get at least one of the other Thraxian kind of like roles or like class names that they gave us in that first story. What was it? There was the scout that we got, and then there was it like hunters and elders or something like that. I think we've got what, 2? Is it 3 more members of the crew to reveal?
3 more members, yeah.
I think we're going to get 2 of them in this wave, and we'll get one last one in the final wave. I don't think we'll reveal who. I don't think they're going to reveal who the transmission specialist is until the end. I don't think they've named that character yet, have they?
I don't know. I don't think so.
The one who's like reading off the story to us, kind of. I don't think so.
I feel like that's going to be in the third wave, but that's just me. Whatever it is, I'm going to be super excited for it. It looks like in that picture that it's going to be like a yellowish version of maybe the Tusk armor, or like that kind of dome head that comes on the red jet pilot. It's got like a a sandy yellow color to it, maybe. I'm not sure, but it looks really cool, and hopefully the reveal room is the air conditioning is working there better than the
than
the one at PowerCon was last year.
I got
It'd be cool to get a Thraxian.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It'd be cool to get a Thraxian that's like kind of like boss colored.
Oh,
Boss
yeah.
from Star Wars, like yellowish and brownish colors.
That'd be cool.
'Cause I know people are saying that's a tusk, on that side that's kind of blurred out in yellow, but that got me thinking about how cool a Thraxian would look in kind of those colorways.
Awesome.
That would totally work too. Yeah.
Got a few things from the chat. Rick said, Jesse, you might have been thinking of mutualism. I don't know.
I don't know what the word I was thinking of, but that might work.
Jeremy said he's looking for a cosmic dragon. So Anthony would like a Motu buzz off. And really the work's done. They just got to take David's custom and just recreate it. So
I think he's saying Motu can buzz off. Like I think he doesn't want any more Motu tributes.
I don't think that's what he's saying.
But
that's how I'm gonna read it.
Joe says the skate back is his number one. Let's see. J Max says being at the reveal, Uka stole his heart. So, and then Carver Customs hoping for a bug related Motu tribute in this wave. So, bug related would be, I think the only two would be Buzz Off and Mosquitor. Unless I'm missing some other bugs that I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that I would be cool if we got a Buzz Off. They just took David's design and just copied it. And he said,
right.
They said, not only is David doing pins for us, but guess what? He also did this Motu tribute. So,
that'd be rad. That would be pretty.
It did come out phenomenally. I know I forgot who it was, but somebody earlier said that they need that your custom Buzz Off in their life. Yeah, I mean, you killed that thing. It was so damn good.
Thanks, man. I was happy that it ended up with Bill.
Yeah.
But now it's so funny because it's like I do have this Motu shelf, and I'm like, why didn't I keep that Buzz Off? Right?
Yeah. What was the process like for creating that? I mean, did you already because I know sometimes creating a custom, sometimes I'll have an idea in my head and I follow it straight through. And sometimes there's a lot of changes along the way. Like something works, something doesn't work. You got to try some things. Like how did that go with that Buzz Off one?
It started with Cosmic 1, all the reveals. Everybody talked about how they're going to do a Buzz Off tribute. And then everybody got them in hand. And they were in hand for months. And I was like, so nobody's going to do a Buzz Off tribute? Because, it's just obvious.
Right.
That build in particular, the only thing that I changed was the forearms with the gauntlets.
Yeah.
Because I originally just did a Barbarian builder, deluxe Barbarian builder with, the wings and that sentry head with the claws. But then it was just like a eureka moment that, all the Motu guys that have the spiked arms, Skeletor and Buzz Off and even Clawful and stuff, that I was like, oh, I'm going to try and do that. I'll try and match the paint and see if everybody gets it,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it came together really quickly. And again, I didn't think I was going to be the first person to do it because I thought it was so obvious, what you would use to make that character, that I thought it was going to be, the second everybody got those spec scenes in hand, they were like, let's all make a Buzz Off,
I think obviously the little, the hand pinchers and the wings and stuff were obvious. I don't know that the rest of it was obvious. And not only that, but the paint job. I mean, it's one thing to envision what parts you're going to use. It's another thing to execute the paint job that you executed. Yeah, it was absolutely stellar. So
thanks, man. Yeah, it's really important to me when I make Masters of the Universe tributes, even for my own collection, that I only use available Legions parts, because I think that's the most fun about the PowerCon debuts, is looking at them and just what they've done to I think Stratos was the first time, or the Xenophon, where I was like, that's genius, man. You know, like it looks just like Stratos, you know, but it's all stuff we've had in our fodder bins for almost 10 years, you know?
Yeah.
It's pretty rad.
Yep. J-Max says, unsure if Montana is an insect. He might be an insect, but I
I
wasn't.
don't know what that guy is.
That's more the Shira side, so I wasn't thinking about that. But if he is a bug, I guess that could count. I don't know what parts you would use for that, but cool. Well, I won't be joining you guys next week, but I will be there in spirit. I hope you guys have just an amazing time. It's so now, Jesse, you'll be back for our show though, right? Next week?
Oh yeah, I think we'll probably be leaving pretty early Sunday morning to head back, because I know Brett's got to drop the Orkins and I off wherever we're meeting up, and then he's got family, so he'll want to be home in time for dinner for that. And Dave Orkin commented it's about 8 hours from our pickup spot, or maybe 8 hours for them. I don't know.
Gotcha.
6 hours and 9 minutes from Philly is what I googled, just because I know we're meeting.
Well, just remember, on your way back, if you get bored, you could always pop into the customizing studio and just kind of keep us company. So just
I might be sleeping on the way back.
If it's anything like at the end of MesquiCon, you'll be half dead the last day on the way back.
Well, the nice thing is I won't be working a table this time, and so I won't have any of that that energy being spent.
You woke up Sunday morning and you were like something out of Night of the Living Dead. You're like, oh.
And for folks that are wanting, that was not a no alcohol related Saturday night.
No, that's just Jesse waking up. It's just Jesse being exhausted.
We got House of the Dragons next Sunday too. Finale.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the finale.
So good. So good.
I'm so pissed that there's only 8 episodes in this season.
I know.
My wife was livid at the end of last week's episode. She was like, "What do you mean there's only 2 episodes left? There's not 10.
Yeah.
There's only 8 this season."
I would rather them give us 8 solid episodes than
stretch it out. Yeah.
Than 10 where 2 of them are like, oh God, it's this character that I care nothing about for 35 minutes.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, no spoilers for anybody or anything, but this season's been so damn good. We've been watching it each Monday. I watch it with Darla, and it's amazing. So beautiful. Well,
I'll be watching after we sign off here.
The 4 Horsemen could tap into that well and get some Game of Thrones and House of Dragons figures from them.
I saw some at San Diego Comic-Con. I can't remember who was it that was making them, but somebody had House of the Dragon figures that they showed at San Diego Comic-Con. They looked pretty decent. At least the face, the resemblance of the faces looked really good. I'm not sure about the rest of the figures, but
I know Toddy Mack gave it a shot at one point, but they were
no.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Speaking of San Diego Comic-Con, did you guys see anything this weekend that exciting for you guys? Anything that you like?
Oh man, quite a few things. Yeah.
I'm saying for me, it was the 2012 Turtles, the Frazetta Girls, Conan,
and
the Tony the Tiger.
The Jada Toys. Yeah. That's cool.
But mostly that Conan and those Turtles, man. Everything else is like, it wasn't Legion stuff, so it's not that good, right?
Yeah.
Right. That Tony the Tiger, though, man. I'm the same. When I saw that, I was like, I need him on my shelf. My wife was like, "What do you need a serial character for?" I was like, "I need it, babe.
Because I need it." Yeah, you can't explain need. You just need it. Why do I need air? Why do I need water?
It's gonna go great with my Chester the Cheetah figure. What do you think?
Right. I never picked up Chester. I'm gonna pick up the Flamin' Hot one that was this year's exclusive. They have it on Entertainment Earth. I'm not a big glow in the dark guy, but I'm a big Hot Cheetos guy. So
What else for you, Thomas? Besides the Tony the Tiger, anything else that you saw that you you were like, I gotta definitely get that?
Mezco had a pretty good showing. That Mezco Beetlejuice is, oh my God, like whenever we get that, it'll be a couple of years because they like to take their sweet time. And then today they didn't show it per se, but they announced that they're doing the Dark Knight, Christian Bale Batman Mezco.
Oh,
So
nice.
I've got Keaton, I've got Arpats, I've got Ben Affleck. So, we won't include Clooney or Kilmer, and I'll have all the Batman. We need Adam West at some point. I think they would kill it in that original suit if they did that eventually.
Oh, yeah.
But
that's like got Mezco written all over it to do an Adam West Batman. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like all the other Batmans, it's like it's total armor, but that's the one that would make the most sense for Mezco to do.
Totally.
I think for me, the Mondo doing 1/12 scale Motu 2000X and just see what their take on the Four Horsemen designs are going to be. Like that blew me away. And then the other two were just kind of exclusives. One was Todd McFarlane, the like this. Jesse's going to yell at me, but it's the one that's supposed to be like a statue of Superman, but for some reason it's articulated. Where
the gold one,
the gold in the park. I got to get that. And then,
awesome.
I've talked about it a million times, but the chocolate Willy Wonka, just that bar and the whole design, like it's so cool. So those were the ones for me that, I just love.
See, Jeremy said Shaggy in the chat. Like, just Jada all around has become such a great company, and for the price point of their figures, it's amazing. That Mega Man,
great
I
value.
cannot put down. Like, it is such a
their
fun
whole
toy to
Mega
play
Man
with.
series looked great. The Bomb Man, like, dude,
Yeah.
those look great.
The only things that really jumped out for me were the Jada Toys, the Cammy, because I always get like a Chun-Li and a Cammy because I just always liked their moves in the game. So I'll get her because I already have the Chun-Li and what.
Yeah, they're.
Oh man, there was something else that was just in my mind. The Ahsoka the white. The
Black Series one,
white. Yeah, I'll probably get both because I always get like
Vintage.
the vintage one and just leave it on card, just for that nostalgic feel. But definitely get the those are the only things that really jumped at me. So nothing like super rare or crazy.
Gotcha. Awesome. What
I
about
will say the 6-inch Sentinels look kind of cool if they do those in like a regular color scheme, like a more comic color scheme, and not the video game color scheme.
What about the Marvel news last night?
Loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on board, man. 100%. It's gonna be great.
I'm over the moon. I mean, I love the RDJ announcement. I know there's some people that hate on it. I love it, but more importantly than that, I think the Russo brothers being involved in the next two movies is like that's huge. Because they don't do bad stuff. like their stuff is always so good. So to me, that was an even bigger win than the RDJ. But yeah, that whole thing was cool. And then did you guys see that the Fantastic Four vehicle that they brought in and stuff? Like
car.
Yeah, it was like actually like a car-sized drone that like you can drive in. Like what kind of like we're living in the future, man.
Yeah. That thing was crazy.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that cast of that one.
Yeah.
I think Pedro's the hardest sell for me. Sorry, Jesse.
Yeah, because he's so recognizable as him. Yeah.
He's Pedro, but his name's escaping me right now. But the guy who's playing Ben Grimm, he plays Richie in The Bear. He's so good. And then the guy from Stranger Things, it looks like a really stellar cast for that movie. And then I think I have a harder time with Pedro as Mr. Fantastic than I do with RDJ as Doom. Like,
I mean, the bar for a Fantastic Four movie is so low.
At this point, for sure.
It's definitely going to be the best one ever.
I just saw Badass Reviews earlier today. They have a little clip of like Galactus like leaning into a window or something, and it looks crazy. It's just you just see like across his face a little bit.
Yeah.
But that looks really cool. I know a lot of people are upset one way or another about the RDJ thing, and I can't tell them they're wrong, but I think if they do it right or in the right way, not right correct, but like in the right way, we'll never see his face enough to recognize him as Tony Stark. Like, because Doom's face is so horribly scarred is why he wears that mask. So unless we see him before that happens, and granted there are versions where like Doom became Iron Man for a while, or there was a part where they traded personalities, and I don't know if it was a what if or an alternate reality. Like there's ways around that. If it's just, I hope it's just him as Victor Von Doom, and he just has makeup and an accent and the helmet or the mask and everything, and he just is Doom. Like I don't need him to be a variant to work. So I'm excited
I think
for
it. Would be kind of cool to have him as the Tony Stark version of Doom, and just, like he's not
honestly,
the Doom, he's just a Doom in the multiverse.
If it's Iron Man as Doom, I'm gonna think it's the stupidest fucking movie in the world. Like I'm so over this like variant versions of people. Like if he's not Doom and he's Iron Man Doom guy, I'm out, dude. I'm over it. They can't do it anymore.
It might be a good script still. I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
It's so tired.
If
so
they're
bad.
doing him as Victor Von Doom, then yeah, I hope that you don't see his face or don't see his face as recognizable, because then that would suck. But
I don't mind. We're talking Johnny Storm and Captain America. It's the same technical universe. It's like you can have the same actors playing different parts, but if it's Tony Stark as Doctor Doom, that's dumb,
I mean, technically now you got what is it? Josh Brolin is in the same universe playing Cable and Thanos. So
exactly, nobody cares.
Yeah,
nobody cares.
Especially if it's a role that you're going to have, a bunch of CGI, or you're going to be, wearing a mask or something like that. So
yeah,
but
I will say, I think like Curtis said, the Russo's coming back for the next two Avengers like flagship movies, and I think they got one of the writers of the movies back as well that they worked on. So
hear that. That's awesome.
I could be wrong. I didn't look up, but that's someone who I usually trust their information on Marvel movie stuff told me that. So I'm looking forward to it. Without spoiling anything, I'm not going to say any spoilers, but I think the Deadpool and Wolverine movie made me feel like almost able to say Marvel movies are back.
They're with that. I don't think that they can release another crappy Marvel movie. Like after Deadpool, the bar has been raised again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if they release, another Eternals after Deadpool, it's just going to get laughed out of the theater,
Oh, I did want to mention this into the Downey Jr. thing. He is such a versatile actor. So, he can, granted, it's him in some of the roles, but there are sometimes he's been in movies where it's like, if you didn't know it was him because you knew he was in it, you might not have known it was him.
Yeah.
I think he can do that. And since he was such a face as Tony, I think being able to be a hidden face like heel for Doom would be a good turn for him, because then kids aren't going to run up on the street and be like, look, it's Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
That's funny. Awesome. Well, and Thunderbolts. It seemed like that's coming together pretty well.
Thunderbolts. What is that a movie?
Yeah,
the Marvel one. Oh, I didn't see anything about that.
Yeah, it's the one with Winter Soldier, Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp, Yelena. So it's kind of like the kind of adjacent ambiguously moral characters.
Oh, okay. No, don't know any of those characters, but
It's kind of like a Suicide Squad of Marvel, basically.
Yeah. Red Guardian.
Yeah, it's got the Captain America that was in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
the
U.S. Agent Zemo.
Yeah, U.S. Agent. It's got the new Black Widow. It's got the
they're just
chick
squeezing
from the
life out of
Ant-Man.
what they made.
I like her. I think Florence Pugh is amazing in that role. Like she's got some one-liners that I feel like her comic delivery is similar to that of some of the original Avengers. Like
okay.
Like just she just has a really good comic delivery. So, but Joe says the B team, LOL.
Definitely the B team.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
But
yeah. I mean, essentially they were. Yeah.
So awesome, guys.
And
well,
I was gonna say it hurts being a DC guy first. Like it's always been DC before Marvel for me, and like the most exciting thing we got revealed was a new freaking logo. And I was like, yeah. Cool. We got a logo.
I'm with you. I'm hoping that James Gunn does a good job. I would love for them to turn things around. I've loved, practically everything he's done so far. So we'll see. Time will tell. But yeah, it hasn't been good for the last, as a DC fan, we've gone through many years of not good stuff. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But we'll see. Well, guys, we really appreciate you being on. This has been a ton of fun. Anything that you guys want to promote? Instagrams, shows that you guys are going to be at? Anything else coming up?
No, just Mark, reach out to me and I'll send out that wall tour as soon as I can. Like as soon as I have your address, it'll be in a box. And then we'll see you guys at IshCon.
Yep, that'll be fun. Thomas? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, I said it last year before Legion's Con. I'm a hugger. So come on up. Give me a hug.
Bring it in. Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers got a hug.
And just to point it out, I was supposed to have a scroll thing running across the bottom with everybody's tags. It's David Williams at It's David Williams on Instagram. For David.
There you go.
That's me.
And Thomas?
Thank you guys so much for having us on. It was awesome. Watching the show every week. It's been really cool just being able to talk with you guys instead of through the chat. I'll still be in the chat, week after week. But really cool to be on with you guys. I had a great time. We'll see everybody at IshCon. Super excited to make the quick little weekend trip out. If you're not following me on Instagram, give me a follow. It's right there. T Bellet. It's just my name, pretty easy. I like to post a lot of toy photography, and I'm trying to get more consistent with the craft. So really do appreciate the follows and the feedback too. If there's a shot that you really like, let me know. If there's something you think I could do better, please message me and let me know. All criticism is welcome as long as it's honest. So really appreciate you guys having us on. I'll see most of you at IshCon next week, and then everybody at Legion's Con in November.
Awesome, man. Well, we appreciate it, guys. You guys, it's been just a blast having you guys here, and we're gonna go ahead and put you guys backstage. If you got to run, we totally understand that. We've kept you here quite a bit, but if you can stay around after we close out the show, we'll be right back with you. Okay.
Cool. Say bye, Thomas.
Sounds good.
Bye, both Thomases. Later. All right. Another fun one, man. That was great.
For sure. Always a good time hanging out with good folks. And folks, seriously, check out. I know we've had David on and looked through some of his stuff before, but definitely check out Thomas's stuff. His Instagram page is a lot of really cool stuff. I always regret that I might miss stuff just because of the way the algorithm works, but he's got a ton of awesome stuff. So go check out his stuff and David's stuff. I mean, both of their things are really awesome stuff. So,
Totally.
Curse, I'm going to set this up for you because I know, not that you're not excited for every guest, but you've got a hankering for more cowbell. So
yeah, we may have a problem next week because I may have to like have a bucket to catch all my drool for our guest that's coming, because I've been doing nothing but fawning over his work for the last couple months.
We need to get you one of those things like for the dogs that I've been seeing online, where people are teaching the dogs to especially like bulldogs.
Or like they put the
they have
towel down.
the little towel like right next to their water dish. Yeah, you see Curtis every couple seconds just smearing his face in a towel.
But we will have joining us next week, Bear Blaze. Really excited. He has been doing so much good stuff this year. Really hope to be able to pull up, his Instagram and just kind of look through some of his work and kind of get some insight on how he does some of his customizing, and then just kind of what his plans are, for Legions Con, what his setup's going to look like, so that I can be the first one to his table and, knock people out of the way, whatever I got to do, trip them, shove them down, old ladies, walkers, wheelchairs, whatever I got to do in order to get to his table and be there first. So,
wow. And make sure you tell him the Dorkler sent you.
Yeah, but no, that should be a fun show. Excited to talk to him next week. Yeah. So thanks, guys. Appreciate everybody watching live and on replay.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And all the, members, subscribers, guest members, whoever you are, thank you for being there. Make sure you check out, the member, take advantage of that stuff. Cause I'm laying out some deep thoughts on Monday morning, for a couple minutes anyway.
There you go.
So deep, you might say, from that, I'm not going to say that cause that might be copyrighted. Wednesday one shot showing up for everybody on Wednesday at noon Eastern, live for everybody else, whenever we record it, hopefully after this. And then
and if you missed the intro, go back and watch it again, because we don't do the intro at the end. We do the outro.
Yeah, we're a professional channel. Intro, outro. I mean, Curtis got away with it at the beginning when we first got it because he was super excited, but whatever.
I'll play it all show long.
Yeah. Just dub it, just make a loop, and maybe I'll just there we go. I'll put the intro up as its own video, and people can just loop it continuously.
I'm excited to see it live from Jeremy DeWitt at Legions Con.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
Yeah, and tune into OffWorld Friday nights, and OffWorld presents a Legions quest every other Monday. As long as this guy right here, doesn't delete the recording, making Curtis and Joe do a recap, which they did a very good job on. So
I thought we might be doing a special episode this week. Maybe
we talked about it. We have not confirmed one of our players, just because of travel. I don't think I saw a commitment from them, being as that's a day they're getting back from a trip. So that might be too much to squeeze in, but hopefully we will.
Brian, next time that happens, get a video of it and we will play it on the show.
There we go. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And as always, I did not mean to cut you off.
What's on your shelf?